Avast, mateys! Hello, arg, and all that. Welcome to my stream. This is a little preamble, mostly to check that my audio levels are okay. Um, Let me know how I sound in comparison to the game audio currently. I have my mic turned up a little bit, but it's never reliable with these little things. I sound good, okay, and the game is a decent volume level as well. I want to make sure that you can hear that wonderful Curse of Monkey Island audio. Okay, good. Yes, I want my voice to be slightly louder than the game audio because I'm going to be talking a lot during this stream. Oh, I'm going to be talking a lot and I forgot to refill my water. Oh well, such is life. Anyway, hello, welcome to Studying the Classics, which is a new little stream series that I'm going to be doing intermittently. For those of you who are new here, hello, welcome. I am Francisco Gonzalez, also known as Grundislav. I am an adventure game developer. I have made several adventure games throughout my life. Go refill the water. I would have to go all the way upstairs and get my water jug, which it's fine. Also, hello, thank you for the first time. Chat, Rockwell VOST. I can't wait for absolutely nothing bad to be said. Threep Knight, no, don't worry about it. I'm not here to dismantle this game. I'm not here to criticize this game. I'll explain what I'm here to do in a moment. Hello to Fiction Control. Hello Pramac. Hello Align MCD. First time. Hello ATM Machine. Have you read the early design document for Curse with a completely different puzzle chain? I have not. But I'm interested in the actual puzzle chain of the Curse of Monkey Island. By the way, will you ever try to study Clock Tower? I've never played Clock Tower and Nicholas Patton, so I don't know. Hello, Junaid Imagination. That's a cool name. Right, so as I was saying, I am an adventure game developer. You can check out all of my games at Grundislav in my website, which is http. I can't even say it. http://grundislav.games. That is where all my adventure games are. Information about all my adventure games is available, including where to purchase them. I recently released a Western game called Rosewater. I usually do development streams of my games. I did many development streams for several years of Rosewater, and Rosewater has been out since March. But I'm back on my my stuff, which is to say, I am currently. Oh, thank you, Threep Knight. Which is to say, I am currently in the pre-production stage for my next game. Thank you, Junaid Imagination. I'm glad you loved Rosewater. Now, one of the things that especially the last two games that I've done, Rosewater and Lamplight City, those focused a lot on branching narrative and choice-based gameplay. And, you know, a lot of people think that means that the puzzles are too easy. Now, I've never been a huge puzzle guy. I've never really designed very complex puzzles. However, I have made adventure games in the past that have had more traditional adventure game design, and I am looking to do that for my next game. So, the reason that I'm doing this series is I'm going to refresh my memory by playing games that I love, that I think have good puzzles, and I'm going to write down what they do for my own reference. But I figured I'd do it on stream because, you know, everyone loves a Let's Play. So I am going to be doing a Let's Play of Curse of Monkey Island, but it's not going to be a traditional Let's Play. I'm not going to be saying, oh, this is terrible. I'm going to be noting down and remembering what the puzzles are and trying to figure out if I can remember the steps, and then analyzing how it works and logically analyzing the clues that the game gives you. And so I'm basically looking at this from an academic study perspective. So for all you academics in the chat, this one's for you. So yes, I love the Curse of Monkey Island, and that's what I'm going to be doing, starting off with this one. So let's do it. So, alright, here we go. Alright, so we will be playing Mega Monkey because that's got all the puzzles in it. And of course, I will be offering my color commentary throughout. Yay, academia. I knew you would appreciate that, Fiction Control. I've got my little notepad here ready with my CMI. Appropriate. I love this joke. I've always loved this joke. Nobody born after 1998 gets this joke. Let's talk about the year 1997 and the development history of this game. No, let's just enjoy the music.
Captain's log. Guybrush Threepwood. Lost at sea for days now. I have no crew or navigational instruments. No provisions except a half-eaten corn dog, and unless I find water soon, I'm surely done for. Only the hope of finding my love, Elaine, keeps me going. My quest for the fabulous treasure called Big Whoop has left me in this sorry state. I thought it would bring me fame and glory. Instead, it delivered me into the clutches of my enemy, the zombie pirate LeChuck. I had thwarted his evil plot to marry Elaine, and he was after revenge. Really thirsty now. If only I could have a small drink of fresh water, I might have the strength to sail on. Oh, but I know there's nothing but ocean for miles and miles. If I could reach land, I might find water and some food.
This joke is very good.
Maybe. Something to fight off the scurvy and help me get my strength back. Maybe some bananas. Oh, why do I torture myself like this? I might as well wish for some chicken and a big mug of grog for all the good it'll do me. Oh, my sweet Elaine. Am I cursed to starve here on this ocean without seeing your face just one more time? Am I...
Here we go. Hey, Chuck Jordan, I follow him on Blue Sky.
times do I have to tell you, LeChuck? I just don't feel that way about you.
Elaine?
By my congealed blood, you'll learn to love me. Sail with me, and I'll make you queen of the dead.
I can't. I'm washing my hair tonight.
Blast be your hair, woman! Can't you see that this salty old sea corpse pines for your every gentle caress?
Hey, DOS Nostalgic, hello. I know every line of this intro, too.
You know, I don't think my father would approve of me dating the undead. And you're probably too nice a zombie pirate for me anyway. Let's just be friends instead.
Arr! I used to have that as my...
Let's face it, LeChuck. You're an evil,
I'll talk about that
foul-smelling,
in a
vile,
moment.
codependent villain, and that's just not what I'm looking for in a romantic relationship right now.
Darn your riddles, you saucy female! What do you mean? Ah! Oh!
You're a bloodthirsty monster who's already kidnapped me once, tortured my friends, and taken from me the only man I ever loved. Guybrush Threepwood.
Ah, how romantic. Ship ahoy!
Threepwood! Fish him out.
I always liked LeChuck's shotgun cannon, essentially.
Guybrush?
Yeah, LeChuck's shotgun.
Guybrush Threepwood. By my gangrenous gut, I don't know how you escaped my carnival of the damned.
But you won't escape the taste of my blade!
Ah!
R.I.P. Earl Bowen.
Ooh, the lass has spirity. Throw him in the hold. I'll finish him after the battle.
Hello, Dr. Rob.
Turn loose the longboats. And prepare the flaming voodoo cannonball.
Well, that sure was an intro, wasn't it?
I've got to get out of here and help Elaine. If I could only get through this one door, then I could easily overpower the armed guards above, slip over the side, and make for the shore.
Quit your mumbling, captive.
Alright, I'm going to...
Blast ye!
Because Wally keeps saying a lot of stuff, I'm going to turn the voice volume down for a bit while I talk. And then I'll turn it back up. Okay! So, that was the intro to The Curse of Monkey Island. Also, hello, I the Minotaur. I the Minotaur. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Mino. Anyway. What I was going to say before was I actually had a pack, a graphics pack and sound pack for Windows 95 based on The Curse of Monkey Island. And when you made for the default error noise, it was LeChuck going, "Dar!" So that is like inscribed into my brain. And anytime, there's a couple of other lines that anytime I hear them in game, I'm always reminded of the Windows 95 thing. Anyway. Right, so for those of you who joined late, I am doing a puzzle analysis of The Curse of Monkey Island. I'm planning on doing several games, but I'm starting with Curse because I love this game. I think it's got some great puzzle design, and I never noticed that if you leave Guybrush alone too long, he gets impatient and puts his hands on his hips and makes a little pouty face, which is pretty funny. So, we saw the intro. We are now in Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is very short. Chapter 1 is literally just escape 2 rooms, as I recall. There's this screen, there's the exterior screen, there's the cannon close-up, and then later on there's the collapsed hold, upside-down hold screen. So, interestingly, if you noticed, as soon as the game starts, Guybrush has this little dialogue where he says, "I need to escape. If only I could get through this door." So he's telling you what you need to do. Now, in modern adventure games, there would be an on-screen tutorial saying, hey, left click to interact on things, right click to open your inventory. But in the 90s, you had to read the manual. And of course, this game is famous for having the verb coin, which I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of it. It's not that I'm not a fan of the concept of it. I'm not a fan of its execution. I really don't like that you have to click, left click, and hold down the button. I think it's a lot stronger if you're going to do a menu like this. It's a lot stronger if just a single left click will bring it up, because really, there's no need. If you left click, Guybrush walks to the thing. There's really no need to do that. You could just left click and have the verb coin come up and then choose your action. But I said I wasn't going to nitpick this game, so I'm not. But anyway, so yeah, you have your look, you have your interact, you have your talk to, of course. So, as I recall, our main goal here, if we're looking at these puzzles from the large view to then the smaller view, all we need to get out of this room is a sword to cut this cannon restraint rope so that the cannon will fly backwards and crash into the door. Now, we as the player have no idea that will happen. We as the player are basically like, we need to get through this door, so we have the keyhole. So if we look at the keyhole... Oh wait, I need to put the voice back up. I forgot. Because I don't have... I'll put the subtitles on too, just...
I see a diorama of the children of the world living in peace and freedom. No, wait. It can't be that. It's just too dark to make out what's in there.
Okay, so we have a little joke there. So our first instinct as players might be, well, we have to get through this door, or we have to pick the lock or something. We haven't exactly been given any sort of indication that this cannon is what we need to get through the door, and we won't, as I recall. So it's kind of a leap of logic, but it's not so insane that you're like, how would I have thought to do that? But yeah, if you're looking around, you know, you see all this stuff. So right now we're kind of at a loss as what to do, really. So in standard adventure game fashion, pretty much it's just exploration of the environment. You know, you can look at the cannonballs.
Nice, cannonballs.
You can see that there's a ramrod.
Looks like a ramrod for the cannon.
But let's before we actually do anything, let's analyze what's happening here. Is Wally gonna keep talking? No, he stops after a while. Oh, that's good. If you let him go, he doesn't repeat. He just runs out of lines. So that's good to know. So anyway, as I was saying, so our main puzzle here is we need a sword to cut this cannon restraint rope. How do we get that sword? We get it from a floating arm. And in order to cause that arm to float, we need to sink all of the ships. And in order to sink all of the ships, we need access to the cannon. Which means we need to talk to Wally, get him to cry, so that he leaves the cannon alone. At that point, we can pick up the ramrod and the hook, combine them to make a hook thing, and use that to get the arm with the sword. So we have essentially a dialogue puzzle, we have an inventory collection and combination puzzle, and we have a cause and effect thing. But bear in mind, we don't actually ever know why we're doing all of these things. We're just kind of doing them. So I wouldn't say that's the strongest design. But yeah, a more modern approach would introduce each mechanic more slowly, it's true. So given that you're in this room with only one character, your first inclination is to talk to him.
Stay away!
I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Who are you?
I'm the evil pirate Bloodnose, the wickedest fiend ever to sail under the banner of King Death. I'd as soon chew your nose off as look at you.
So this is basically just comedy dialogue here, but interestingly enough, I remember in the demo, which I played a lot, you had to pick all three of these before he broke down and cried. But in the full version, you only have to pick one, which is an interesting change. Probably for expediency purposes.
Is that hook for real?
Of course it's real. A vicious shark tore off me hand. Oh, what a struggle it was. I remember...
It is so a fake.
It is not! Well, okay, it is. See, I haven't lost my hand yet. This is sort of a training hook. I'm wearing this just to get used to the feel of it. Captain LeChuck says he'll cut my hand off when he gets some free time. I do have a hangnail. You'll probably get infected.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not a pirate. Wally! Don't you recognize me? It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Oh, gee. Hello, Mr. Wood.
The last time I saw you, we were prisoners in LeChuck's dungeon. Why would you sign on with a ship of the living dead?
Well, Mr. Brush, at first I had some misgivings about it. But thanks to LeChuck's seminars, motivational lectures, and audio books on Parrot, I've become a vicious corsair. You can too. Ask me how.
Hello, Mr. Wood, me in the morning. Oh dear. Welcome, Belzorf. Okay, so, we've talked to Wally. We pretty much immediately now, through picking one of... I honestly think the reason that they changed it is because they wanted you to get to this point quicker. Because if you had to rely on picking those 3 dialogue options for it to happen, you weren't guaranteed that the players were going to do that. So this way you guarantee that the player will pick at least one of them, and then we'll move on, and, Wally drops the blood nose thing. So this is now giving you, the player, a little bit more incentive, because it's like, even if you haven't played the other games, you learn that this character is somebody that Guybrush knows, and, he can help him. So this is just a little throwaway, only one of these, really. I'm not in the mood for Sosep. I don't feel like...
sales hype.
Here.
So he gives you this nice red herring
Please take this literature.
inventory
You may change
item,
your mind.
which I'm not a huge fan of, red herring inventory items. So anyway, now that we know it's Wally, we actually have some relevant information here. So, we can try all the appeal to his kindness.
Set me free, Wally.
I can't, Mr. Brush. I'm the evil pirate Bloodnose now. And besides, even if you got up on deck, LeChuck would cut you to ribbons.
What's behind that door?
Ooh! That's the door to LeChuck's treasure hold. There's heaps and piles of gold and silver. He's brought all the loot he's ever stolen to give to Elaine. LeChuck is convinced that he can buy Elaine's love.
What are LeChuck's plans?
He's been working on a secret weapon, some incredibly powerful cannonball. He's going to use it to blow down the walls of the fort, so his crew can overrun the island.
Okay.
Snap out of it, Wally.
That's Bloodnose to you, you scurvy sea bass.
So this is kind of process of elimination here. I mean, it doesn't take a great leap of logic to solve this dialogue puzzle, but it's interesting that, we do this, and then Wally gives us some exposition, so now we know actually what's behind the door, we know what LeChuck's up to, and we basically get a little bit more information.
You're a failure as a pirate.
Shut your trap, you yellow-bellied blowfish. One more peep out of you, and I'll do you in.
So this is fun, because this was in the days where it was like dialogue puzzles weren't exactly the norm. So, you get this little rush of like, oh, haha, he said one more peep out of you. I'm going to say peep.
Peep.
Yes, Gabra Swab. One more word, and I'll let you have it.
Word.
That's
Word.
it. I'm gonna blast you. I'm gonna... I can't do it. I just can't. You're right, Mr. Wood. I'm just not a pirate. I'm not ferocious or bloodthirsty or hateful or anything. I'm not even unpleasant. Oh.
Oh, there.
Poor Wally. I always love the little detail of him, like, hitting his eye with the hook and then going, ah, and then throwing it away. I always did feel really bad for him. His crying is very pathetic. But shout out to Neil Ross, who plays Wally. Neil Ross was also in Rosewater in many roles. He's a great actor. And this cry sound haunted my dreams for years. I know, right? The Mind Slug. Don't feel bad for Wally. He's a tool to be used and disposed of, sometimes exploded. Yeah, poor Wally. Also, welcome to Mind Slug. Hey, Summer. Okay, so, as I was saying before, weep. Guybrush Weepwood. Given that, as I mentioned, Wally is the only character to talk to, as you can see, the dialogue puzzle there is pretty hand-holdy. There's no challenge, really, as far as, like, navigating the conversation. You pretty much fall into it just by playing around, which is great. I mean, it's the classic exploration is gameplay approach. This is basically because, you know, it's the first scene, so I think it sticks to the design philosophy that your first set of puzzles shouldn't be ridiculously crazy. These puzzles are not super complex, but as I mentioned before, I think the main obstacle here, which is get through the door, it's not really signposted exactly how to best go about doing that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So, we've now talked to the only character we can talk to. He is now, through our choices, been put in a situation where we can't talk to him anymore. So we now know that we have to, like, do something with the rest of the environment. So if we see here, oh, we can go outside. Oh.
Can't quite squeeze past this cannon.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. There's nothing out here. We can look at stuff, and we're like, okay, well, there's not much we can do. But now that the cannon is free, we use the cannon, and then, oh, hey, look, a mini game. That's cool. So now we're just kind of like, oh, we can fire the cannon. Well, let's fire the cannon. What happens? This is also encouraging playing and experimenting. And like, what happens if we shoot? Oh, look at that.
Oi! You're getting a little close there, pal!
Watch where you're shooting!
Oi, whose side are you on?
Hey, I'm getting pretty good at this. Ooh, gross. All the bones and stuff are floating towards the ship.
So we just did that. This is not a mini game, it's a mini puzzle, actually. Yeah, I mean, it is a puzzle. I mean, ideally, any sort of, like, I say mini game because it's not your traditional point-and-click adventure mechanic. It's shooting. Oh, ads. All right, well, I'll wait until the ads are over. Or you could subscribe to my channel. Let me, check something real quick here. Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Oops. Whimper. Whimper. That reminds me of Kill Bill. Oh dear. Right. I should probably write this down. Chapter 1. 4 screens. Dialogue. 2 inventory. Combo. And right, use sword. Okay. All right, ads are done. So hello again. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, right. So the interesting thing about this is that it really does encourage experimentation and looking around and like playing with stuff, because there's no reason to shoot the cannon other than, hey, it's there. And you shoot it and you play the little game. Which is, you know, as I said, the difference between a mini game. I call it a mini game because it's a different mechanic. You're shooting a puzzle. You're shooting a cannon, and then the puzzle is essentially you figure out through playing that you're like, oh, I wonder if I can shoot the boats. Oh, I shoot the boat. You shoot the boats. Okay, you aim and you shoot the boats. Now the interesting thing is after you finish that, Guybrush says, "Ew, gross! All the bones and stuff are floating towards the ship." which tells you as the player, oh, if I look out the window, maybe something will have changed now, which it has. It's Murray. Now Murray is interesting because I'm sure we all know the story about Murray was only supposed to appear on this screen, but he was so popular that they wrote him into the rest of the game. So we won't get into that. But Murray is pretty useless. Gameplay-wise, like the conversation with him is purely for comedy value. There's nothing like you can have the little extra interaction with him, where if you hit him with the ramrod, you can knock him into the water. But he's purely there just for comedic purposes. He serves no point to the game, which is fine. But I'm just pointing that out. Let's go ahead and talk to him just because we have to.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood, a mighty pirate.
I'm Murray, the demonic skeleton. The mighty demonic skull, and I'm in need of some
Here comes
bones.
Murray.
Maybe I'll just take yours.
What are you gonna do? Headbutt me?
I'll think of something. Could you? Could you pick me up so I can bite you?
No.
I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, dialogue options on top of Murray. They're overlaying. I mean, they're everywhere. This is something you have to think about with your UX and your UI design. It was something I thought about in Rosewater. There were several places where the dialogue options covered the bottom part of the screen and covered some characters. So in those instances, I would move it to the top of the screen. If you did that in this screen, it would cover Guybrush. So there's really no elegant solution for that here, aside from putting Murray somewhere else. But yeah. Oh wow. Anakuma is raiding with a party of 30. Holy cow. Hello. I think especially with how small the screen is, it's a difficult design. Yes, absolutely modulus shift. I mean, this is also 640 by 400, so it's 4:3 aspect ratio, so it's also different. Bear raid. Thank you. Hello, Anakuma. Thank you for the raid. 640 by 480. You're right. Yes. Sorry. 640 by 400 is less square aspect ratio. Do we even have a raid message? No, that doesn't seem. Time to promote Rosewater. Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Francisco, also known as Grundislav. Grundislav Games is my company? Question mark. Anyway, I'm an adventure game developer. I'm an indie adventure game developer and designer. I usually do development streams of my games, but since I just released a game in March called Rosewater, I haven't done any streams in a while, but I've decided now that I'm working on my next game to play some classic adventure games and analyze their puzzle designs. So I am playing The Curse of Monkey Island and doing exactly that. So welcome. If you're interested in checking out my games, my website is grundislav.games. So yeah, that's my spiel. So, Anakuma, you played Rosewater. Thank you. It was amazing. I really love the experience of the game. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, so we're still. All right,
You look great with a melting candle on your forehead.
I get the feeling you're not taking me very seriously.
No, I am, really.
Really? Then let me hear you scream in terror.
Ah. You're about as fearsome as a doorstop.
Is it a really evil-looking doorstop?
Never mind.
All right, we love Murray, but let's move on.
Good. Now leave me alone. I have a lot of scheming and evil plotting to do.
Right. It's great to see you back on, Grundy. Love playing your games and seeing some of the dev series. Thank you, Hooded Whalehog. Yeah, it's going to be a while until I do another game dev stream, because I am in pre-production right now, so it's going to be quite a while. Take his arm before knocking him in the water. Yeah, don't worry, I will. Don't worry, Kareem Shot. I haven't even picked anything up yet. I only have this and the balloons. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. So we start off with these helium balloons.
At least I've lost some weight.
Maybe later.
Maybe later, right? Of course, because they didn't want to do the animation of Guybrush doing the balloons in close-up. I understand that.
There's not much to
So
do
if we look
when
at
you're just a
debris,
bodiless-
There's a skeletal arm floating in the water.
interesting. Can we take it?
I can't reach that far.
Aha! Well, now we have a puzzle.
I
So,
can pass the time by whistling.
so now this is clever because okay, now we have a goal. Now we have this object that, in classic adventure game fashion, is out of reach. So come back in here, take the ramrod, because you know we're probably thinking, oh hey, you know, let's pick up everything, because it's an adventure game. So once again, we're like, oh hey,
This is so unfair.
if we look at the ramrod,
Looks like a ramrod for the cannon.
okay, a ramrod for the cannon. I think just by virtue of the fact that we see the shape of it, we can pretty much deduce that it's long. I'm curious. It's curious because you could just skip the whole conversation with him. Yes, you could. You can. I'm gonna guess how this game was designed. They had to make a vertical slice, and this was it. Then they made it the demo. Then they worked on the rest of the game because there's so much going on for just trying to get out of the room. That makes sense. Yeah, that seems plausible. So what I was saying was that we can just tell by the shape of this that it's long. I would say, you know, it looks like a ramrod for the cannon. You know, if you wanted to be more hinty, you could be like, oh, it's pretty long, but I don't think we really need that.
Now everybody's going to storm the fort, and I'm going to.
So if we try that, it's cool that they, you know, did a animation for this, which is essentially the same.
That will reach it, but it can't catch hold.
Okay, so that's cool. We have a custom response. We have a custom animation, which is going above and beyond. I mean, even though it's basically the same animation as when he actually gets it, so it's not too different an animation. But we have a great hint here. Okay, it'll reach it, but it can't catch hold. Gee, well, what happens if we use the hook on it?
The hook won't reach.
Oh, the hook won't reach. Okay, so this is very good. They've now given us a clear indication that the hook won't. The hook will work, but you can't reach, and the ramrod will reach, but it can't hold. So, let's use the two of them together. Oh, look at that! We made a gaff.
It's a ramrod with a plastic hook stuck on the end.
Okay, so that's cool. No, there was a little graphical glitch there.
Hey, that's my arm. Give that back.
I was like, if you use the arm on Murray.
If I gave you your arm back, what would you do with it?
I'd terrorize the South Seas. I'd torture the living. I'd demolish the... What I meant to say was I'd use it to pet kittens.
Nope. You blew it.
Rat.
And of course, because we have to.
Hey!
Okay, so we're back here. Yeah, well, Murray deserves it. I feel worse for Wally than I do for Murray. So why can't you combine the hook with the door to pick the lock? I forget. Let's see. Can you unhook the...
I can't just use this by itself.
No, you can't. Okay.
Scraping a hook on that would be pointless.
Right. We just get a generic thing. I don't think he gives a specific answer for why you can't use the hook to pick the lock, which is interesting because in Tales of Monkey Island, there's lots of puzzles where you have to use a hook to pick a lock. So, yeah. I think the real reason the chapter is like this is because they want you to engage with every mechanic from talking to picking things up to combining them. Yes, I agree. I think it's very important. This chapter introduces you to, yes, those mechanics, the dialogue puzzles, the inventory combination, and... the inventory collection and the inventory combination. Hello modulus shift, or LMAO. I thought you said hello, but also hello modulus shift. Right. So at this point, we have a sword, which again we don't really know why we have the sword. Can we use the sword on the door?
I never have been any
Oh.
good at lockpicking. But I am still a mighty pirate, believe you me.
So interestingly, you can use the sword on the door, and you get a message about lockpicking, but not with the hook, which, you know, a little oversight, but not a big deal. So Guybrush is not good at lockpicking. Okay. Can we use the sword with Wally?
I don't want to disembowel poor Wally.
Wow, there's a line. Right. So anyway, the other thing I was going to say was that, yeah, I think the very important thing about this is because it's in an enclosed space, everything is interactable. So even if you're at a loss for what to do, just the very fact of going around and like looking at everything and interacting with everything, you're having fun doing it as you're kind of realizing what you have to do. So, oh hey, sword on rope. That makes logical sense.
Haha! Taste cold steel, feeble cannon restraint rope.
So now we have a condition that's changed, and by virtue of the fact that the condition has changed, we as the player think, oh gee, the cannon's not restrained anymore. I wonder what happens if we shoot the cannon. This is an impressive amount of voice acting for the era, yeah. I mean, I feel like the late 90s, obviously the CD-ROM era started in like the mid-90s, and we already had games, fully voiced games from LucasArts like Full Throttle and The Dig. And Curse is, I mean, it's very high production values. The voice cast is amazing, but I wouldn't say it's like super, like big. It's not that huge a game, really. I would be surprised if this game had like more than, I don't know, 3,000 lines of dialogue total. Just, you know, from my own experience and how many lines of dialogue I've had in my games, which is a lot more. It's pretty concise. So, yeah. Did Flight of the Amazon Queen come before or after this? Oh, it came way before. Flight of the Amazon Queen, I want to say, was like 94 or 95, and it did have voice acting. This is AAA and adventure games for me. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I mean, just the animation, the production values. Yeah, this is totally like multi-million dollar adventure games for sure. So, yeah, anyway. So now we're like, oh, hey, the cannon's free. What happens if we fire the cannon?
Now, with the demon flames of this voodoo cannonball, I'll blast my significant other into the significant other world. That'll show her how much I truly care. Neptune's navel, that was a close one.
I love that bit. Neptune's navel, that was a close one, is a very good line. I love it. Okay.
Hey, I lost my cutlass when the ship capsized.
So, interesting. We lose our cutlass when the ship capsized. Why? There's nothing really in here. Well, obviously because I think they don't want Guybrush carrying a cutlass with him for the rest of the game. There's really nothing in here that a cutlass could be used on, so that's fine. But it's just a funny... in Spanish he says, por las barbas de Neptuno, eso sí, que estuvo cerca. Chekhov's cutlass needs to disappear. Yeah, it's true. So, now we have the second part of Chapter 1, which is literally just escape this one room. And this is an interesting design here, because our obvious gaping hole to surface...
No, if only I could find a way to get up there and get out.
And then we have this ladder.
Because the ship is capsized, this ladder goes to nowhere. Because the ship is capsized, this ladder goes to nowhere.
So, interestingly, you can't use the ladder.
Because the ship is capsized, this ladder goes to nowhere.
And there's no message that says, oh, it's too heavy to move, or I can't pick it up, or it's attached to the thing, or whatever. Because you would think, oh, let's just use this ladder to get up here. And you immediately are thinking, oh, hey, this is obviously the way to get out, so I need like a rope or something, or some way to reach the top, but there isn't any. Yeah, I could have flown out that hole above. So, we're put in this situation, and we're like, okay, we obviously have to escape, but we don't really know how. There's a porthole, sure.
Hey, I can see the ocean floor. And there's a really angry-looking skull floating around out there.
So that's fun, because you only get that line if you hit Murray with the ramrod. It's supposed to be upside down. Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's no real... Because it's off screen, you can't really tell if, like, the ladder is attached to anything or not. Like, oh, it's bolted on or it's nailed into the wall. So, yeah. So, we're not really given any indication here, and it's another exploration thing. So really all we can do is pick up this bag of wooden nickels.
It's a bag of wooden nickels. Some treasure. Hey, there's a big diamond ring behind this bag.
Oh boy. So we have nickels, we have a diamond ring. So this is interesting too from a perspective of the future, because we do need the wooden nickels for at least one puzzle in chapter 2. If they said it was bolted to a wall, I would have spent an hour looking for a way to unbolt it. Exactly, right? That's what you have to be mindful of. This is the sort of thing that you have to be mindful of as a designer, too, because if the ladder serves no purpose, why include it at all? Because, you know, a lot of times as a designer, you're like, oh, and especially, you know, if you're also an artist, and you're just, like, looking for cool things to put in the room, you have to be conscious sometimes of things that might be red herrings that the player will think, oh, well, this is clearly a thing when it's not. So I would argue that you should probably get rid of the ladder in this room because it's a huge misdirection. And yeah, I remember when I first played this, I actually had to look at the manual, which gives you the little tutorial hint to figure out how to do this, because I also, when I played this, I was like 15. I didn't know that you could use diamonds to cut glass. That wasn't a thing I knew about. So right. See, I'd see the wooden nickels and think that's the one thing I'm not supposed to pick up. Interesting. Or have the ladder visibly broken to show it isn't the right choice. Exactly. Right. Like visibly broken, so then even if you tried using it, Guybrush could say, oh, the ladder's broken or whatever. So yeah. But what I was going to say about the nickels is that it's a very it's an item. It's interesting because it's an item that you need later, that you pick up in this chapter, and it's the failsafe here is that you can't pick up. You have to pick up the diamond ring to proceed. You can't pick up the diamond ring without picking up the wooden nickels. So that's good design as far as, like, you know, having you don't want to necessarily do the thing where it's like, oh, the item I need is right here. It's, you know, you pick up the item and you have it with you from a while ago, so that when you encounter the puzzle, you go through your inventory again and you think, oh, I have these wooden nickels, which I picked up here, just like as a throwaway thing. But then, oh, now they become relevant. The wooden nickels made sense to me as an important item since they're out of place in a room full of gold. Right. The interesting thing is that there isn't really anything in here that you can use them on, so they kind of just seem like a throwaway item, like the brochures, the literature. I've yet to cut glass with a diamond. Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. So now we're kind of at an impasse here because we're not given any real clues here. So I would say this puzzle is not super strong. There's really no indication of what you have to do. Which, you know, this is where people get stuck and then are like, oh, I have to look up a walkthrough. And then you look up and you see, cut the glass with the diamond ring. And if you knew that that was a thing, you're like, oh, of course. And if you didn't know that that was a thing, you're like, what? So, yes. Hello, Ruby and Pixels. Welcome. So, yes. Simple solution. Actually very simple solution. If you think about it mechanically, because literally all you have to do to get out of this room is pick up 2 inventory items and use 1 inventory item on a hotspot. But I feel like this lends itself to try everything on everything, because at this point you don't know what to do. You have a limited number of inventory items in your inventory. You're gonna go around probably clicking everything and hearing the I can't use that, blah blah blah, and then finally when you get the diamond ring and use it on the porthole, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, simple solution with an obtuse approach. How could this be made better? Obviously, signposting, I think, is the clear solution here. Because the other thing, too, is even looking out the porthole, Guybrush says, I can see the ocean floor. So it leads you to believe, well, why would the porthole be a viable means of escape? Although the porthole is not a viable means of escape. I mean, the solution here is you cut the porthole so that the ship gets flooded with water so you can float up to the top and get out that way. So in reality, the big gaping hole to the surface is the correct solution. It's just connecting the dots between I can float my way up there, which I guess the life preserver kind of gives you that. Actually, I'm curious about something. Let me see something. Sorry for that. Oh, there's no autosave. Oh man, I'm curious to see what the look message for the floaty is, because if you look at it and Guybrush says something like, "Oh, if only I could float my way out of here," then that would be a good indicator. But I wonder if that's a thing. I would of course have to restart the game because unfortunately there's no autosave. But 3-Foot Thursday. Yeah, hi, Electric Dragon. Yes. Does he say that? Well, you know what? Let's quit the game and try again. This is how, if I recall, he says he would never use it. Okay. Well, let's try this again. Let's speed run and go through this just because my more Sorry, ScumVM apparently kills my microphone. So what I was saying was I'm gonna speedrun it just to see if if we get a viable hint. So forgive my speedrunning here.
Stand!
Oh look, it kept my settings from before.
I'm selling these fine leather jackets.
Really?
No, I'm lying.
In that case, I don't want one.
Sorry we couldn't make a deal.
I don't think I've ever picked that
Cross
response.
me again, and I'll chum for sharks with you.
Am I though?
Is that hook for real?
Alright, let's blah 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 blah.
Hey, it's not. I'm not in the. You're a failure.
Yes.
You've got.
Oh, look at that. You didn't. That's not one of the viable ones.
Try it, shrimp.
Interesting. Never done that. Alright. I've played this game I don't know how many times and I've never done that. Alright.
Watch where you're shooting! Right inside of you all!
Damn it. I'm not very good at this.
It's like you're not one
Hey,
Okay.
can't.
Oh, right. While we're here, what happens if we use the lockpick on the keyhole?
I never
Ah.
have been any good at lockpicking, but I am still a mighty pirate. Believe.
So he does make a comment about lockpicking. That's cool. Alright.
Well,
No.
Okay.
Hey, I lost
You can
my
beat this
cutlass
game
when
in
the ship
15
capsized.
minutes? Wow, that's crazy.
It's a bag of wooden nickels.
Okay.
Hey,
There's a big diamond ring.
behind this
Okay,
bag.
so flotation device. Let's see what he says.
I don't even want to know what LeChuck's plans were for that.
Right, a gross sex joke.
No self-respecting pirate would be seen wearing that.
Okay.
Nah.
Interesting. All right. So you look at it and you interact with it and you're given negative messages. So I would say that if you tried looking at it, you could still do the I don't even want to know. But when you interact with it, instead of the no self-respecting pirate would be seen wearing that, he could say something like, I could float out of here if there was any water, but that's, you know, or make some kind of hint as to like, oh, he could use it to float out of here. What happens if you use the porthole? Let's see.
That's not the kind that opens.
It's not the kind that opens. So you're not given really any indicator of what you need to do. So, yes, again, this puzzle is a little obtuse. Easy solution, obtuse signposting, no real indication of what you need to do. The logic is there. Like I said, the logic of flooding the room so that you can float up and out is good, but the indication of what you have to do is not there, as far as I'm aware. So, yes. It's not the kind that opens could help signify you need to open it another way. Yes, but it's not super clear. It's just kind of like, I can't open it. It's the same as saying, I can't open it. It's not the kind that opens. If you said something like, I can't open it with my hands, that would be a better indicator, I think. Because that would imply there's another way with a tool, not just manually. So, anyway. Let's enjoy this little cutscene.
Guybrush? Guybrush! I thought I'd lost you forever. Is it really you?
Yes, Elaine.
I know they can't leave you with no hints whatsoever in puzzles, but given the little amount of things you can do here, I think it's not a bad thing either. That's true, but like I said earlier, it basically tends to lean more towards use everything on everything, which is not what you want your players to do, because that leads to frustration, and that leads to the, oh man, adventure games are bad because it's all just illogical stuff where you just have to use everything on everything and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
Did you really mean what you said out there? That I was the only man you ever loved?
Well, yes, Guybrush, I guess I did.
Elaine, I'm a man of action. A swashbuckler, a rogue, a wanderer, a man who can hold his breath for 10 minutes. I have no ties and no regrets. I sail with the wind and go where adventure takes me. But somehow, something always leads
Guybrush,
me.
stop babbling.
Elaine, will you marry me?
Oh, Guybrush.
Oh, Wally? You're alive! But how did you survive the explosion?
I was thrown clear. I'm just lucky I wasn't wearing my seatbelt.
That is a terrible message for kids in the 90s.
Wow, Elaine, that's some ring.
Thank you, Wally. It's an engagement ring from Guybrush.
Hey, that looks just like the big diamond ring LeChuck had in his treasure hold. You know, the one with that ghastly, disfiguring voodoo curse on it. Well, I'm sure Guybrush wouldn't have given you that ring. Anyway, I gotta be going. I hear there's a tattoo removal place on this island that's Freckles safe. See you at the wedding.
Guybrush!
Oh no! Elaine? Oh, she's not gonna be happy about this.
Right. Ads. Elaine turned into a Kinder Bueno. That's funny. Where am I going? Where are we going here? Oh, ads are happening, so I'll just wait a bit till the ads end. Right, okay, we're back from the ads. So I was going to say hello to Key Queen 42, first time catching a live stream, cool, and Sir Randall Gaming, hello. I really like this game myself, I don't know why some people don't. It's my favorite Monkey Island game. I don't care what everybody says. I think it's the best one. Pramac redeemed posture check, I will sit up, thank you. Okay, so I have a few things to say here. One is that I find it really interesting that what we would call the inciting incident, which is basically the reason for the propulsion of the whole story, which is Elaine has been cursed and you now have to lift the curse. I find it interesting that it happens during a cutscene. So, like, Guybrush's motivation for this whole story is to fix the problem that he created. But I think it's interesting that we as the player are passively watching this happen rather than be actively involved. Like, I know there's really no way to do it outside. Well, I mean, there's a way to do it outside of the cutscene, but, like, you know, if it was a situation where we as the player actively, like, gave Elaine the engagement ring, and then when we put it on, we had the cutscene of her putting it on and then turning to gold. I think from a design standpoint, from, like, a player investment standpoint, I think that's a lot stronger than, because we as the player then feel responsible for having done it, even though it's you know, a screw up, even though we don't have any reason to know that it's Wally that tells us that the ring it has a curse on it. So yeah, that's interesting. Now, it would have been more powerful if you had to propose as the player. Yeah, it would have been cool if, like, you know, you give Elaine the ring and then you, as, like, through a dialogue puzzle, not even a dialogue puzzle, but like through a dialogue tree, have to pick, like, how Guybrush proposes. That's just, you know, it all leads to the same thing, but it would be funny if you could, you know, pick what Guybrush says, like, you know, I'm a man of action, all of that stuff. And yes, Dominic Armato is doing a talk at Adventure X this year. Okay, so we've now moved on to Chapter 2. And Chapter 2 is where the game opens up for the first time, pretty significantly. And we have the classic multiple puzzles at the same time solution. But interestingly, that doesn't become available to us until we talk to the voodoo lady. And so we're at this point right now, we have pretty much the entire map available to us to explore, but there's not really a lot we can do, which is interesting. Plus, a lot more great speakers and industry legends. Sadly, not Francisco this year, though. It's not sadly. I mean, I didn't apply because I didn't have anything to say. And, you know, it's always nice to make room for other people. You know, you can't have the same people speaking every single year. I'll be there, don't worry. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, right. So you have the entire island at your disposal right now. So let's go see what happens if we go someplace that isn't the voodoo ladies. And if we just explore. I'm not sure if you messed up is better than Guybrush messed up, though. Mercedes Bance. Hello, Mercedes Bance. I mean, it's basically just a way to, you know, connect the player with... It's not a necessary thing, especially not in a comedy game. I don't think it's that important in a comedy game. But if it's maybe in a more serious game, I think that connection between the player and the character, the main character, is genuinely important. And I think, you know, because if the player character does something stupid in a comedy, it's like, oh, haha, they did something stupid. Now I have to help fix their mess. Whereas if it's in a drama and it's like, oh no, I did something stupid, you feel more motivation, I think, to fix the mess, if that makes any sense. You can tell Dominic Armato is new to this type of game. He's gotten so much better after this game. I mean, it's not bad, but he really nailed the VA skills as he continued. Yeah, well, I mean, Guybrush. I mean, they're pretty interchangeable, right? Dominic Armato has said that he was like a huge fan of the Monkey Island games and that he was familiar with the character. I don't know if... I assume it was probably his first adventure game, yeah. There is a noted difference, yeah, in Guybrush's tone in this game versus later games. He gets a lot more... You can tell that he feels a lot more comfortable in the character in later entries. He still does a great job in this one, but yeah, there are a few lines that are a little bit more subdued, I think, than would normally be performed had he done them like how he did them in later games. But anyway, I digress. So here we are. We have this whole island. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? We're not going there yet. We don't have access to here. Basically, we have access to the fort, the swamp, the town, and the beach club. Let's go to the town first. Okay, so Kenny's here, and we can talk to him. Interestingly,
You've got to help me.
We're closed.
You've got to help. Closed?
Yep. The child labor laws around here are very strict.
But my girlfriend has been placed under a pirate curse.
Oh, then you need to see the lady over in Plunder Swamp. She's been leaving flyers around. You might find one somewhere here in town.
yes, all the locations in the island. Well, most of the island, the locations in the island are unlocked right away. The chicken shop is closed. Interestingly, here we have this little like banjo tune before we get the actual.
Chicken shop. They're closed. It's locked.
We can't go into any of the interiors. The theater is also closed. The barber shop is also closed. This back here is also, there's nothing happening back here. But I do think it's cool that they have like a special, like, the town isn't alive yet. What's the word I'm looking for? Ambiance, right? Like, normally there's music in this screen, but here it's just kind of just sound effects because we're not supposed to be here yet. Same with the town. It's just kind of like, oh, it's a sleepy little town. They're not open yet, you know? Right? So if we go to the Brimstone Beach Club, hey, this guy's here. We can talk to him.
Please. You gotta help me.
Are you a member of this club?
But my fiancée has been...
Is she a member of this club?
Well, no, but she's been cursed by an evil...
If she's not a member of the club, I can't help you. If you have curse problems, I suggest you find the voodoo lady.
The voodoo lady. Got it.
Okay, cool. So this is interesting because all of the characters are directing you to where you need to go, right? So you can't start the puzzle chains because you don't know what you need to do, because you need Guybrush's main concern here is he needs to lift the curse. So exactly, everyone's steering you in the right direction. Now what I am curious about here is, if you recall, the way to get rid of this guy is to pick up a towel, dip it in this bucket of water, and then snap the towel so he goes away. I wonder if we can do that. Will Guybrush say, I don't need a towel right now, or will he pick up the towel and will we be able to do it?
It's full of dirty towels.
Those towels are for members only.
Oh, of course, of course. We're blocked from taking a towel because we have to prove that we're a member, and we can't prove that we're a member until we get the club card. Okay, so that's fine. We can't go to the beach because he's going to say it's only for members. We can't do anything here because he says it's for members only. We can't talk to anybody because we need to go to the swamp. So the game is pushing us towards the swamp, which is perfectly fine.
Ah!
I am Murray, the invincible demonic skull. I bring you warning from the infernal realms. Do not go farther into the swamp. Turn back. Turn back. Darkness will envelop you.
How'd you get all the way up there?
Through sheer force of will.
Uh-huh.
All right, there was a bunch of those weird voodoo kids. They found me on shore and put me on top of this spike. All
The swamp, but also if you're neurospicy, you go off to get that membership card. Yes, except there's no way to do it. So eventually you're like, well, guess I gotta go and go to the swamp.
Do you know anything about lifting curses?
Oh, right. I know a lot about lifting curses. That's why I'm a disembodied talking skull, sitting on top of a spike in the middle of a swamp.
You seem bitter.
I'm sorry, it's been a rough day.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I gotta go.
Okay. So, right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do what we need to do. Shout out to Leilani Jones-Wilmore, also in Rosewater, as Lola Johnson, and Sue Ellen from New Bethel.
Boy, have I got some stories to tell you.
Stories? Yes, well, I'm sensing a great disturbance. I have to go.
But I've got to tell you about LeChuck and Elaine.
I'm going to disappear now in a big flash of light. Cover your eyes.
No, wait. It started back on Dinky Island. I knew LeChuck was close.
I'll be disappearing here any moment.
Okay, no stories. Nice place. I love what you've done with it.
Thank you. You'll have to excuse the mess. The kids came over to play with their
Yes, Ruby and Pixels, the gardening lady, yes.
paper voodoo dolls. They're adorable children. Would you like to see some pictures?
Perhaps later.
Yes, there's no time for that now. I sense that something terrible has happened.
Alright, we're gonna skip ahead here.
Oh, shoot.
You left her out.
Okay. Elaine's been taken.
Someone's stolen Elaine.
That is unfortunate. It will be difficult to get her back.
Do you know who kidnapped her?
Not for certain, but I suspect that it's the mangy pirates anchored in Danger Cove.
Can you give me something to lift the curse?
No, LeChuck's curse is a very powerful one. Fueled by his anger and his intense frustration in dealing with the opposite sex.
Wow, sex in a kid's game.
I have nothing here to lift so powerful a curse, but there is one way.
Great, tell me.
You have to replace the cursed ring with a pure one of greater or equal value. A good guideline is 2 months' salary.
Where am I gonna find a huge uncursed diamond ring?
Legends speak of a whopping big diamond ring on Blood Island.
Blood Island? I've never heard of it.
You will soon become quite familiar with it. But you must be careful, Guybrush. I have foreseen that your journey will be filled with peril and deception.
There's a speedrun strategy only in normal. It's a glitch that allows you to skip straight from the Voodoo Shack to the Good Soup Crypt. Does it have to do with the fact that you get the... When you take the pin, you see the inside of the shack? The Gravedigger's Shack, which is what you see inside from inside the Good Soup Crypt. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I feel like that's something you can only do if you're playing on in Scum VM, because this game came on 2 CDs and all those resources would be on CD too. So
Island will be the place
anyway,
where you will die.
Die? Did you say die? As in me, dead?
Don't be such a baby.
Unless it told you, please
Isn't there
insert
a less
CD2.
dangerous way?
No. The value of the ring on Blood Island comes from its emotional significance. It represents a pure, true love, a power greater than any other.
Oh, that's sweet. I think I have something in my eye.
Do not mock the Voodoo Priestess. Here we go, jazz time.
How do I get to Blood Island?
You will need 3 things.
Of course you will.
A map to Blood Island, for the journey is a long and dangerous one. A seaworthy ship to take you there. And an experienced crew.
Map, ship, and crew. Got it. Well, how will I find the ring on Blood Island?
All I can say is that I see a long and painful history connected with that ring. And I feel a great sadness associated with it. You will learn more once you have actually found the island.
Blood Island, here I come.
Okay.
Thanks for your help. Gotta go.
Alright. So where are we now? I was in a call, so I didn't get to say this earlier. The thing that really annoys me with Kermit the Monkey Island is that Elaine becomes a damsel in distress from the beginning, when the point of the first 2 games was that she could take care of herself and didn't need rescuing. Yes, that is true. What I was saying before is that I think it's interesting that the inciting incident where Elaine gets cursed is done through a cutscene. Also, oh my god, look at this tangent. Look at this tangent right here with the... Oh no. Well, you know what? We all make mistakes. It's fine. Far be it from me to criticize the work of Bill Tiller. I used to see this game from Guybrush's perspective, but he's a baby, and now I see it from the Voodoo Lady's perspective. I'm old. That's funny. That's funny. The Voodoo Lady knows things about mortgages and healthy diets too. Okay, so gameplay analysis here. So chapter 2, as I said before, is where the game opens up for the first time. It's interesting because the way this game works is first chapter is very self-contained. Second chapter is very open. Third chapter is very self-contained. Fourth chapter is open. Fifth and sixth chapters are very self-contained as well, which I think is a nice little, way to design a game. I may or may not be completely lifting that idea for my current game in production. Anyway, so as we saw, when we first get to the island, Elaine is cursed, and our immediate goal is figure out what's going on. So the key point is to come to the voodoo lady. And if we try to go anywhere else, we can't. I mean, we can explore, we can look around, but what we can do is very limited because the game wants us to come and talk to the voodoo lady. So we can interact with Kenny, we can interact... I picked up the goals come in threes from Monkey Island, and I'll stick with that as a designer forever. Me too, although I feel like sometimes it's cool to mix it up a little bit so it doesn't just become, oh, well, here's the next 3 things puzzle, because people come to expect that. It's nice to subvert it every now and then. Anyway, so you can interact with Kenny, you can interact with the club guy, but you can't actually fully interact with them. You get the alternate dialogue where it's like, oh, go see the voodoo lady. All right, so we've gone to see the voodoo lady. The voodoo lady has now given us 2 very important pieces of information, which is you need to go to Blood Island to get the ring to break the curse. Okay, so that is now our immediate goal. And to get to Blood Island, we need 3 things: a map, a ship, and a crew. And then there's also a 4th thing, which is we need to rescue Elaine, because we don't know where she's been taken. So we also need to figure out a way to get to Danger Cove. Which, as far as we know, is on the other side of the island where we saw, but we have no way of figuring out how to get there. So now we have the 3 main goal things, and we have the whole island available to us, and now we have to figure out the structure. So this is now where I try and remember how this works and how I try and analyze it. So we have map, we have ship, and we have crew. Map is arguably the most disgusting puzzle in this game. If you recall, we have to get the tattooed map, the map tattoo grafted on a piece of skin off of someone. That's interesting. The last time I watched someone play this, they got stuck because they did the 3 things and then forgot about Elaine. That's funny. Okay, so if I'm recalling correctly, we have to get the map from Palido Domingo, who is suntanning at the beach club. But we can't get into the beach club because we don't have a membership card. And in order to get the membership card, hold on, I'm trying to remember here. I'm trying to think backwards here. The membership card is in Blondebeard's chicken shop, right? And as I recall, we have to use it's inside a chicken, which we have to use maggots that we get from picking up a biscuit inside the chicken shop. So that's interesting because the solution to get the solution to pass the obstacle that we need to get the card is in the same room as the obstacle itself. So you have to pick up the chicken, or you have to pick up the biscuit that's full of maggots, and then use the maggots on the chicken to then get the card, the beach club card, to get into the club to get to Palido. So that's one thing you have to do. But I'm also remembering that you need a reservation slip to get into Blondebeard's chicken shop, because without a reservation, he'll kick you out. And you get the reservation from the snake, which is on the way to Danger Cove. So you actually cannot you can't start working on the map puzzle until you at least start the Danger Cove bit. So that's an interesting bit of design there. So really, in order to get to Danger Cove, how do we get to Danger Cove? I should be writing all of this down, but I'm not. I'm just thinking out loud here. Let me just put the music on so we can all appreciate it. So, in order to get to Danger Cove, we need the scissors to cut through the foliage. And in order to get the scissors, we need to get rid of Captain what's his face? Rottingham, Renee Rottingham. We need to get rid of Rottingham at the barber shop because he's in the barber chair that we need to then use to I do like that you understand all of the quests you need to complete in order to get to the next area right away. This clearly presents you the solved state, and now you have to put the jigsaw together. Exactly. So in order to get the scissors, we have to get rid of Captain Rottingham. In order to get rid of Captain Rottingham, we have to get the lice from the theater. Put the lice on the comb. Rottingham gets thrown out. You get to say you want a haircut. You have to kick the paperweight off of the page so that you have an excuse to get Haggis out of the room, and you get the scissors. So that's that. So once you get the foliage and you get through the snake puzzles, and actually that's interesting because the snake puzzle and the puzzle following that are two also escape the room puzzles. So then once you've done all that and you have the membership card and you can get into the beach club, then you have to use the towels on the ice water to snap the guy away. You pick up the cooking oil, and then, which is all in that one screen. And then there's the bit with the refilling the drink where you have to do the bottomless mug thing with Kenny. Where you take Palado's mug, you swap out the mugs, you fill the pitcher with dye, you make him think he's sunburnt, so he turns over, and then you use the cooking oil on him. That is a very complicated puzzle chain. And this is just for the map. So the crew is then interesting because we have then 3 sub-puzzles within that one, which is Haggis, Bill, and Van Helgen. Van Helgen's is easy because it's you challenge him to a duel, so you have to figure out that you need the glove, the white glove, to challenge him to the duel, to slap him. But then once you actually... So that's just like find inventory item and use it on him. But then it's just Simon Says minigame, and you then have to shoot... You use the gun that's right there to shoot out his guitar. Which I feel like that last bit is not necessary. It's just an extra step of complexity, which is fine, but it's not strictly necessary. So that's pretty simple. Haggis is the caber toss challenge, so you have to figure out, like, Guybrush is not strong enough to lift the tree. So you basically just need to take the serrated knife from the chicken shop, use it to cut the sawhorse, which spills rum on the ground. You use the ember to light the rum, it blows up the tree, and then that's it. That's also pretty simple. That's just find inventory items in different locations and use them to create a win condition that currently does not exist. And then with Bill, it's the infamous get the gold tooth from Blondebeard, which has several steps, which is give him the jawbreaker, the gum, and all of that stuff. So that's a little bit more complex. But I think it's because there's 3 of them within the one thing, they aren't as complex as the map. Right, dipping the towels to get across the hot sand is another part. So yeah, the map one is easily the most complicated puzzle chain in this chapter. So then, in order to get the ship, you have to plug the rowboat with the paste and the cork that you get from the tree, which you have to get the inventory item from Blondebeard's. So this is another instance of just pick up inventory items while exploring and figure out how to use them. So you plug the rowboat, and then you basically just have to saw the plank with the knife you already have to get them to make you walk the plank after they've tarred and feathered you. Or actually, no, sorry. I have that backwards. You saw off the plank so that they can't make you walk the plank, so that they have to tar and feather you, which they make very clear. We only save the tarring and the feathering for, when we have to. So then you become El Pollo Diablo, which you've learned about from talking to Blondebeard. You go see him, and you get knocked out and taken into the thing. And then you have to use the ventriloquism book, which you get from using the magic wand on the magic hat. And that gets Mr. Fossey out of the way. And then you have the ship. And then you also, by virtue of that, get the instructions on how to find Elaine, which is just figuring out the location and the little sequence of lights in the thing. So yes, as I was saying, map is definitely the hardest one, which is interesting because, excuse me, on the list of 3, it's the first one. So ship and crew are actually less complex than that. But yeah, so let's go back to that again. So map is literally just find inventory items in the world and figure out how to use them. Because again, working backwards, in order to get the map, you have to use the cooking oil on the map. How do you get the cooking oil? You get it from using the towel and getting rid of the... How do you get the cooking oil? You get rid of the guy, the beach club guy. And you do that by picking up the towels, putting them in the ice, and doing the towel snap on him to get him to go away. Right? So that in of itself is pretty simple. But then, before that, how do you get access to the map? Well, that involves making him turn over, and that involves the swapping the mugs with the lemonade stand and getting the pitcher full of dye. How do you swap the mugs? Well, you just take the mug. The mug is already there. So it's basically just pick up inventory item, go back to location, use inventory item on Kenny, get another inventory item. That's pretty self-contained too. Before that, though, it's how do you get to him? You also have to do the the towels on the hot sand thing. Before that is how do you get access to the club? You get the membership card, which is use the maggots on the chicken. But before that, it's how do you get into Blondebeard's shop? It's get the reservation thing from inside the snake, which is get the scissors from Haggis to get to whatever through that. Which get the scissors for Haggis and get through the thing is already like part of ship. So it's actually cool because it blends 2 puzzle chains together. But yeah. From the point of view of the player, how long does it take you to find where the map is? How do you identify your crew? And the third thing, it's ship. And how soon do you know where Elaine is? Okay, I'm going to wait till the ads end to answer these questions. Just going to groove here for a little bit. Okay, ad breaks over. Edmunditor asks, from the point of view of the player, how long does it take you to find where the map is? How do you identify your crew? And what's the third thing, which is getting the ship? And 4, how soon do you know where Elaine is? So, working backwards from your question, we already know where Elaine is, because the voodoo lady says, I suspect it was the mangy pirates on Danger Cove, in Danger Cove. So we know that we need to get to Danger Cove. We don't necessarily know where Danger Cove is, but just from looking at the map, we see that there's that like dark area with a ship in it, so we can assume, oh, that must be Danger Cove. So how do we get there? I don't know. Although, if I do recall correctly, there is a sign in Puerto Pollo that says Danger Cove that way, but it's blocked by the foliage. So you then are presented the obstacle of, oh, the path is overgrown. We have to clear the path. Which, if we hadn't had our cutlass taken away from us, we could have done that. But they took the cutlass away from us, so now we have to find an alternate way of cutting through the foliage, which is the scissors. So there you go. Arbitrary blockage there, but interesting nonetheless. How do you identify your three? What's the third thing? Is the ship, which I think that's just kind of by the fact that you go and you see that there's the pirate ship. Like, you think, oh, well, there's the only pirate ship in the game. That must be the one that I'm going to take, so I need to figure out how to get control of it. So you already know those two things. How do you identify your crew? Well, that is by walking into the barber shop. Guybrush tells them that he's looking for the treasure, and he kind of just automatically says, hey, how'd you like to join my crew? And they say, oh, well, I could only join your crew if they give you their conditions for joining the crew. The crew is also, yes, the crew is also 3 people. So it's a 3 things within the 3 things design there with the crew. And how long does it take you to find where the map is? Talking to Slappy Cromwell, he tells you. Actually, no. Looking at the stickers on the trunk in the theater, he sees a sticker for Blood Island. And then you can ask Slappy Cromwell, and he's the one that tells you about Palido Domingo. And so then it's like, well, we need to find him. And then when you find him, it's at the beach club. I don't remember if he says that he spends his time there. I don't remember exactly. We'll have to see. But you're given the clues pretty early on. So now there's another thing I want to think about here too, which is the characters and what each character in this section actually does, what function they provide. So the voodoo lady here, she's basically your exposition at the beginning. She's your core quest giver. She's the one that tells you exactly what you need to do. That's it. She doesn't have anything else to do. So in the cabana, we have the cabana boy, who's basically just there as an obstacle. He doesn't give us anything. His primary purpose is just get him out of the way in order to proceed. So he's basically just an obstacle character. We don't actually need to talk to him. There's no like flag that gets set from talking to him or any gate that gets opened from talking to him. We literally can just go there right now and, well, not right now because we don't have the membership card, but yeah. His purpose is just to be given the membership card and then gotten rid of. So, yes. I'm thinking of outlier characters first before we get to the important ones. Mr. Fossey, who is the crazy monkey guy on the ape guy on the ship in Danger Cove, the leader of the pirates of Danger Cove. He is also there to be gotten rid of. He doesn't really serve any major purpose aside from just, well, he's the captain of the ship. We have to get rid of him so we can take over the ship. Murray also is just comic relief. He doesn't really serve any gameplay purpose. Captain Blondebeard. Captain Blondebeard starts off as an obstacle character and then becomes a character that we have to interact with in order to get his gold tooth. The 3 barbers, obviously, are our crew that we need to hire, so they're puzzle sources. Captain Rottingham is another character that we need to get rid of, but he becomes important in Chapter 3 because our messing with him in Chapter 2 is what causes him to basically come after us in Chapter 3. So if Guybrush hadn't messed with Captain Rottingham, Chapter 3 would never have happened, so that's interesting. Who else have we got? We've got Kenny, who is the lemonade stand kid, who also is the source of a puzzle. And we have Oh, we have Slappy Cromwell. Slappy Cromwell, who tells us about Palido and also has to be gotten rid of in order to find Elaine. So, there are several obstacle characters in this game. And Slappy's assistant, who's just there. He's just there. He doesn't serve any purpose other than being a comedy duo with Slappy Cromwell. And I think that's it. That's all the characters in Chapter 1, right? Slappy Cromwell sounds like the name of a clown who knows witchcraft. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Who else? Pretty sure that's it. Right? So how many characters is that? Voodoo Lady, Murray, Cabana Boy, Mr. Fosse, Kenny, Haggis, Van Helgen, Cutthroat Bill, Captain Rottingham, Slappy Cromwell, Palido. Oh, I forgot about Palido. Palido is also just we need to solve a puzzle with him character. And I guess you can count Slappy's assistant. So that's 12 characters. 12 characters, and of those 12 characters, 10 of them serve an important gameplay purpose. So that's interesting. Because another thing I'm very conscientious of is trying not to have any, like, filler characters. You counted 11? I was also counting the guy in the dress in the theater. Voodoo Lady, Murray, the 3 pirates, Rottingham, Kenny, Cabana Boy, Slappy Cromwell, Palido Domingo, guy... Oh yeah, you're right, it is 11. Oh no, Mr. Fosse, and guy in the dress. That's 12. Okay, so here we have inventory items. We have 3 inventory items in this screen that we can take. 2 are readily available to pick up, which is this pin, which... Okay, wait, let me get the paste first, because I have to think about what the paste is for. So the paste is for putting on the cork, the rubber cork that we use to stop up the boat. The pin, however, I remember off the top of my head that the pin is what we need to use later on Blood Island for the compass. But what do we use the pin for? What do we use the pin for in this first chapter? Does LeChimp count as a character? Frozen Spade says. Hello, Frozen Spade. I would say no, because LeChimp and Mr. Fosse are kind of... they go together. This is where you need a whiteboard to do academic-y stuff. Is Palido Domingo the only pun? LeChimp is kind of a pun, I guess. Do we need to stick the... Am I remembering this correctly? Do we need to stick... No, we don't need to stick the pin... I'm thinking of Toonstruck, where we need to use a pin to, like, act as a lever. I played that fairly recently. What does the pin do? Oh, the pin is to pop the bubble! Right? Yes. The pin is to pop Blondebeard's bubble that he blows, to get the gold tooth to fall on the floor. Okay.
What a relief.
Alright, and then we see this gumball machine.
Admiral Sweetum's Bit O Jerky Bubblegum. 5 cents.
And we're like, oh hey, we have 5 cents, we have wooden nickels.
Wow, I got a whole pack of gum.
And now we have a pack of gum, which we can chew. And that's fun.
Tastes like...
And then we also get an extra chewed gum icon, or extra chewed gum inventory item, which is gross. But, you know, whatever. So this screen has now served its purpose. There is absolutely nothing else we need on this screen. Except if we want to talk to the Voodoo Lady again, but we don't really need to. This screen has also served its purpose. There's nothing to do on this screen. This is just a transitional screen. They put Murray here to give you something to do, to talk. But there's really nothing else we need here. There's nothing. I mean, we can also give Murray the gum, which is a fun little bit of interaction, which is always important. But as far as purpose goes, we never have to come to this location ever again. The swamp is done and dusted. So, great. The bubble pop is foreshadowing. Perhaps. So that's interesting, right? We never need to come here again. Now our main focus. Also, I didn't pick up anything at the fort, but the fort. What purpose does the fort serve? There is one inventory item here, and that is the glowing ember, which I didn't pick up. So I'm playing this just as like a player here. I'm playing this as a player. Yeah, I'm playing this. What I meant to say was I'm playing this as a player who doesn't really know exactly what to do. So I'm just going by this logic of if it's not nailed down, pick it up. So, okay. Alright, so now we've picked up the glowing ember. We never need to come to this screen ever again. So that's now 2 locations in the game, in the first chapter, that we never need to come to again. We still have one. We have two locations we can get to from the map that we still need to come to. Soon to have a third once we get to Danger Cove. But that's interesting. Of the 4 right now, half of them are now useless. Weird that the cove is locked. Not really, because, I mean, I guess in a modern game, you would have the option to go there, or like the arrow would show up, and if you clicked on it, Guybrush would be like, I can't get there. I mean, visually, you can see that there's like a path around the mountain, and this very strict line that goes here, so that's a visual clue there that maybe the path is here, which is cool. So, alright. So let's start with that, actually. Let's come over here, and oh look, there's signs that say Danger Cove. Okay.
Danger Cove. Danger, do not enter.
I like how it's spelled with a J.
Plunder Island Naturalist Society Nature Trail.
That's also very funny.
Beware.
Alright, so then we have mysterious flowers.
What a strange flower.
Wow.
This jungle is thick.
Okay.
I'll need something sharp if I'm gonna hack my way through there.
Okay. So Guybrush has now told us that there's a thick jungle. We know that that's the way to Danger Cove. He's gonna need something sharp to hack his way through there. So we already think, okay, well, we need something sharp. That's cool. I remember when Guybrush used to stuff items down his pants, and that was the inventory box. Yes, quite. All right. This flyer is completely useless. We don't need to pick it up. This is just a funny little thing that we can pick up as an inventory item.
Down because your chicks turned to gold? Come to the swamp. Get your fortune told. Voodoo and things. Formerly just voodoo. Visit our new location on Plunder Island.
This is a clue for if you didn't already have it shoved down your throat by the characters that you need to go see the voodoo lady. It's funny, but the flyer itself has absolutely no use in the game, so that's fine. So right, so if we try to come into Blondebeard's here.
Do you have a reservation?
No.
No reservation slip, huh? Then out you go!
Right. So now we've just learned we need a reservation, and in order to prove that we have a reservation, we need a reservation slip. So that is now, goal is now, get reservation slip. Right. I should be writing this down. I really should be writing this down, because I am... Okay, so map, ship, crew. Alright, so ship is get to Danger Cove, which then leads to get something sharp. Crew is... Well, it's interesting because... So Blondebeard's Chicken Shop has several things for several quests. It has the Beach Club card, which is for the map quest. It has the serrated knife, which is for the ship quest. It has the pan and the what do you call it? The biscuit cutter for the crew quest. So there's a lot of really important items in Blondebeard's shop, which explains why they gatekeep it to not let you in right away and plunder it, because it's something you need to earn. Hello, Moorhook. Welcome. You still don't know why you need to go inside the restaurant. That's true, but I would defer that to just, it's open. So the fact that it's an open business means that you know, you're enticed as the player to go in there. So, yeah. However, I will put a point to that, saying that you realize that you need a reservation slip, but you're given the reservation slip by accident almost, because you get it from after the snake. So you're not really thinking active. I mean, I guess you could be thinking actively like, oh, how am I going to get this reservation slip? But, you know, Monkey Island is the best after Maniac Mansion. Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that opinion. I was never a huge fan of Maniac Mansion, but that's cool. I appreciate what it did for the genre. I mean, it was one of the defining games of the genre. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. So okay. So we know that we need to get it to, something sharp. Right now, we don't know what this is for. Well, I mean, this is kind of an outlier because, like I said, getting into the chicken shop is something that we need to do in order to proceed with all 3 of the quests. So getting into the chicken shop is just like an outlier at this point. No, it's okay. It's okay, Moorhook. We don't have to agree. It's true. We share our love of adventure games, and it's fine. I get derailed. I derail myself all the time. It's fine. Okay, so we've done that. And if we come over here, just, again, playing as a player who's just going around, exploring everything, figuring everything out, we see that there's, like, a dive vat. We see that we have a small pirate who we tried talking to before. Let's talk to him now.
Hello there, Sonny. You open yet?
Oh boy, oh boy.
And that's funny because he'll say that. It makes more sense in context now because we tried talking to him before when he said we're closed. So now he's saying, are you open yet? Because he's already said. But anyway, there's no alternate line for that, but that's fine.
My first customer.
It works even if he hasn't.
Is this gonna be swell? Hi, my name's Kenny. Kenny Foulmouth. It sure would be neat if you would buy some of my lemonade. It only costs a nickel. And best of all, I have a bottomless mug policy.
That does sound like a good deal.
All right, so we don't really have a lot of interaction with Kenny. He's pretty one note. It's basically just, hey, here's my Kenny Foulmouth is another pun name, played by the late great Gary Coleman. Rest in peace, Gary Coleman. I remember when they made a big deal about how like they got Gary Coleman for this game, which is pretty funny. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we have a nickel. We know we can buy the lemonade.
I'd like to buy some lemonade.
Sure. We have a bottomless mug policy, you know. That'll be a nickel.
We get a fun little animation. Haha, it's a bottomless mug. Oh, that's a funny joke.
Hey, there's no bottom to this mug. Give me my money back.
I'm sorry. I did tell you about our bottomless mug policy, and there are no refunds.
Why, you little...
Thank you. Come again.
I want my money back.
Why? Was the lemonade bad?
I don't know. I didn't drink any.
Well, if you're not dissatisfied with our product, I can't justify giving you a refund. I'm sorry, but it's company policy.
But...
Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
I didn't realize... I've never played this with the subtitles on, so I didn't realize that line was like all run together with no spaces. That's very funny. Right, so Kenny's interactions are very limited conversation-wise. We know he's like a precocious little kid, and we know that he has this bottomless mug policy, and oh, that's funny, he has a bottomless mug, so we're not going to be able to get any lemonade from him. It's kind of like a put a pin in that thing, because it's like it's not really clear what has to happen here. I mean, you kind of think, oh, well, you know, if only the mug had a bottom, then maybe I could get some lemonade. But it's not super, super clear right now. So, pin in that. So, we've got that. we're making a mental list here. We're like, oh, lemonade. Oh, we need something sharp. We need a reservation slip. We need a reservation slip to get into this place. All right, let's keep moving. What else have we got here? We've got, oh, hey, we can get into this theater now. Cool. And here we have this screen, in which we have several things. Well, let's go. Well, we're exploring. We're looking around. We're like, oh, look at this. All right, so we've got several important inventory items here. We've got the magic wand. We've got, well, actually, interestingly, we have pirate coat, which has a pocket, but also is just pirate coat. So we actually have to look at it first.
Looks like a nice coat, with just a few flakes of unsightly dandruff.
So interestingly, and correct me if I'm wrong, players who have played this and are remember it better than me, because I like to think I know this game pretty well, but it's been a while since I played it, and I'm also middle-aged now, and my memory is not what it used to be. But if I recall correctly, in Mega Monkey mode, it requires the extra step of picking up the dandruff, whereas in regular mode, he just kind of automatically picks it up, or is it the pocket? I know that this coat, there's something with this coat where there's an extra step in Mega Monkey where you actually have to interact to get an item. I don't remember if it's the dandruff or if it's the glove. It's the pocket, okay. Alright, so as I was saying, so there's dandruff.
That's weird. I didn't think dandruff moved. Oh.
Okay, that's interesting. So you look at it and you get that, and then it's lice.
They're, wiggling.
So for some reason you can take the lice. You can check the pocket.
There's a glove in here.
And you can take the magic wand.
Watch me make this disappear.
Okay. So, these are all the inventory items we need from here, but we've now gotten 3 inventory items. We can use the wand on the magic hat, which, you know, item right next to an item it needs to be used with.
Nothing up my sleeve?
Also, nice mirror technology.
Presto!
Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
In regular,
There's
you can see the
inside.
glove inside already. Okay, yeah. So you get this book. Now, if I also recall correctly, we don't need to use the magic wand ever again for anything. Also, interesting that the glove only has 4 fingers. Very cartoon-like. And the skeleton arm also has... What if you put the glove on the skeleton arm?
I don't think that glove will fit.
Oh, okay. That's cool. They gave you I never thought to do that before, funnily enough. Is the magic hat actually clued at all? I don't think it is.
It's empty. Or is it?
Yeah, that's all.
I don't want to disturb the mystic powers of the hat. Nah.
I think you're just supposed to make the leap of the logical deduction that, oh, it's a magic wand, it goes with a magic hat. That's how I thought about it when I played this. I remember thinking, oh, well, magic wand, maybe use it on magic hat. Not the greatest, I have to admit. It's a little... Yeah, calling it a magic hat helps. Yeah, the fact that it's magic wand with magic hat would lead you to maybe try doing something with it. And then here, oh, look at how big this hotspot is. Worn travel trunk, and then we have Blood Island sticker as like the very front of it. So there you go. That...
Hey! It's a sticker from Blood Island. It says, Blood Island is for bleeders. A message from the Blood Island Tourism Council. Hey, maybe the performer who owns this trunk knows how to get to Blood Island.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, you have to look at the sticker to progress. So yes, making it a giant hotspot is only fair. So now we can ask Slap, or yeah.
To swab or not to swab?
Oh, it's 1:30.
No, that's not right.
Ahoy! Have you been to Blood Island?
But of course. Blood Island was once the place to be if you were an artist in the Caribbean. Those were the days. We were young and wild, pushing the limits of our craft. Oh, what risky, daring performances we gave. We weren't afraid to shock or offend the stodgy, mainstream sensibilities of our audiences.
Oh, what did you perform?
Dinner theater, mostly.
Could you tell me how I can find Blood Island?
My agent, Palado Domingo, always handled the travel arrangements. He would know how to get there.
Any idea where I could find him?
He's a member of the Brimstone Beach Club here on Plunder Island. You might catch him there.
Perfect. Okay. And then we can ask again. All right, so there you go. We saw the sticker. We asked him about it. He tells us about Palo Domingo, and he tells us that he's at the Brimstone Beach Club. So now we know that we need to get to... Our next thing is, find... Well, I guess the first thing is find someone who knows about Blood Island, which is... we already did just by looking. So now we have find Palo Domingo, and then get into club. Right. According to the design docs, the pirate in the tutu is named Stu Boyle. Stu Boyle. Is that a pun? I'm not kidding. So the Blood Island line only appears if you look at the sticker. Yeah, I mean that's pretty classic. That's pretty classic puzzle design. You know, you can't ask a character about something unless you have an idea that they might know about that thing. So the fact that there's a trunk here means that someone in this play must know about Blood Island. So there you go. You ask him and he tells you, well, my agent is the one who knew about it, or who knew how to actually get there. So where can I find him? All right, well, he's at the Brimstone Beach Club. So now we know we need to get into the Brimstone Beach Club if we want to find this guy. So
carry on.
Perfect.
Come on,
we never need to talk to Slappy again.
You've got to get this right.
This screen the only purpose that this screen serves is to have Slappy. Well, that's not true. There's two purposes for this screen. One is to talk to Slappy, who gives us the important information. The other one is spoilers. This is actually where Elaine is buried. Elaine is here under our noses the whole time. But we don't know that yet.
The show opened.
This screen, we are now done with it because we've taken all of the inventory items that we need from it. There's also this.
It smells like something's burning. Must be this shoddy 17th century electrical wiring. Wait a second. Somebody's been monkeying around with these controls. I'll need to read the instructions before they'll work. I'll need to read the instructions before they'll work. I'll need to read the instructions before they'll work.
Interesting.
I'll need... I'll need... I'll need to...
Okay. So this is interesting because pressing the buttons just makes it all not work. So this is to prevent us from solving this puzzle prematurely because we need to have the treasure map. No, ads. I will wait until the ads are over. Hope everyone is having a nice time. Oops. What's happening here? Time to check my email and my tweets here. Excuse me. Oh, why do I have so many messages? Oh, right. Adventure X is happening. The ticket sales are happening, aren't they? I've never heard of this game. Hello, Ivy Doofler. Wow, it's pretty good. Okay. All right, let's get back to it now that the ads are over. It's interesting with this open world setting that there are locations that are there but sort of locked, but also this requires a lot of mental mapping of what all is going on. Yes. So what I was saying before the ads was that it's interesting here that this puzzle doesn't let you solve it until you have the treasure map that you get from the pirate ship, because obviously solving this puzzle prematurely would be a sequence break. So, yeah, so Guybrush basically says, oh, I can't do it until I read the instructions. So pressing every button, nothing works until you actually have the instructions, which is fine. It's fine. So, as I said, yeah, so this screen really serves no more actual function, which, again, is fine. All right, so what do we got back here? Back here, we've got, well, we've got this grassy knoll. We've got these two we've got rubber trees. We've got another rubber tree. We can't do anything with them right now. We can't do anything with this sawhorse right now and the keg of rum. So this is here to entice us for later. All right, let's go to the Barbary Coast.
Welcome, patron, to the Barbary Coast, where every haircut is an adventure.
Aye, and if you're wanting a haircut, you'll have to wait until I'm finished with Captain Rottingham here.
Are you guys pirate barbers?
We prefer the term buccaneer hairstylists.
Great. Maybe you guys can help me find this huge diamond ring I'm looking for.
Diamond ring?
Yeah, it's supposedly enormous, and it's on Blood Island.
Blood Island? Never heard of it.
Oh,
It's a funny
Guybrush.
story, really. I need it to lift this curse that's turned my girlfriend into a solid gold statue.
Solid gold?
Wait a second. Did I just share too much?
Yes, Guybrush, you did. You really did. All right, so we have now come here, and we see that there's a whole bunch of characters to talk to. And then also we see that, oh, look, scissors. Those are sharp.
Wow, I bet those could cut through anything.
Look at that. I bet those could cut through anything. So that satisfies our get something sharp thing. So now we can add get something sharp. We can add to get something sharp. We can write down get scissors from barbershop. Or just get scissors. However, I never noticed that you can see the town square clock from the Caber duel field, and it also has the correct time. Yeah, that's a cool little detail. All right, so we now know that we have to get the scissors, but we can't reach them.
I can't reach them.
Oh, shucks. Well, that's our next puzzle. All right, so we're like, okay, here we got some people. Let's talk to them. Sure. Let's talk to this guy first.
Ahoy there, I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate.
Of course you are.
Okay then, who are you?
Edward Van Helgen.
Not the...
That's right, mine is the name that pirates fear the most. Edward Snugglecakes Van Helgen.
Ha 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 ha. Okay, so this is interesting because Guybrush automatically talking to these people says, how'd you like to join my crew? I guess it's because these are literally the only 3 other pirates on this island. So he's kind of, by process of elimination, you know, is like, okay, well, these are the only 3 guys that are pirates. I guess these are the guys that have to join my crew.
How'd you like to join my ever-growing pirate crew?
Your crew? Why would I want to be on your crew?
It's gonna be a blast. We're going to Blood Island.
Sorry, Threepwood. As much as I'd love to be out at sea again, I could never serve a captain who wasn't a gentleman and who wasn't my equal.
Gentlemen, that's me all over.
Then prove it. If you can defeat me in a gentleman's duel, I'll join your crew.
All right, let's get to dueling.
No, no, no. There are rules. If you want to duel with me, you have to give me sufficient insults.
Okay. How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
That's an old one. Come back when you have some fresher material, eh?
Hey, that's a nice shirt. How long have you been colorblind?
Oh, please.
I don't want to insult you. Why can't we just get along?
Wow. Wow. Very 90s references here. Okay.
Whoa, look at the time. Gotta scoot.
I'm not going to do the whole singing thing because, well, as funny as that is, that's not what we're here for. Okay, so now we know that Van Helgen will only join our crew if we can defeat him in a duel. But in order to engage him in a duel, we need to insult him. So this is a little iffy because this requires, I would say this requires outside knowledge. You need to know that, like, traditionally the whole, like, I challenge you to a duel thing is slapping somebody. And I don't even remember if it's necessarily, like, slapping them with a glove or if it's just slapping them. These poor pirates, hard times, so they have to pick up Barbary. Yes. Also, hello, Aaron Z. Best. So there's no real indication in the game that to start a duel you need to slap somebody. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a little bit of an X for requiring some modicum of outside knowledge. I know that, like, in Day of the Tentacle, for example, a lot of people criticize the car washing puzzle because they're like, how was I supposed to know? But there actually is a clue in game where they say, you know, some people think that washing your car makes it rain. But there's nothing in this game that tells you, well, you know, it's pretty insulting if you slap somebody in the face with a glove. So, right. So you need to be kind of aware. I feel like it's a Looney Tunes kind of thing, right? Like classical Looney Tunes, you know, you'd have like Bugs Bunny slapping somebody with a glove, and that would be a duel, right? So, assuming we know this, we're like, oh, hey, I have a glove. Let's slap him.
Now there's a challenge. To the field of honor. Choose your weapon.
All right, so, okay. All right, I forgot about this part. Washing your car makes it rain feels like a Murphy's Law in joke that's more understandable in American car culture than abroad. Yeah, no. I mean, the context of it, I think, is more understandable in American culture. But as far as, like, logic goes, the fact that the game says that, I think, is good design, because even if you're completely unfamiliar with the concept culturally, you're still like, oh, really? You think that like the game is telling you that? So then if you try washing the car, it's like, oh, it's raining. That's what he said before. Like, it doesn't just come out of left field. So anyway, so this is interesting because this is also multiple steps here, which is you think choose your weapon and you're like, oh, there's 3 guns. And if you choose the gun, you have the option to choose these guns.
I choose this pistol. If I beat you, will you join my crew?
The odds of you beating me are so astronomical, I will take that bet. Again, I prove to you I'm the greatest duelist in the world.
Well, you not again. You didn't prove it to me the first time, but that's okay. That's okay. Right, so that's interesting. This is the kind of puzzle design that LucasArts was really good at, that I think is really good, that I would like to try and emulate as best as I can, which is thinking outside of the box, and like doing what you think you need to do and realizing what doesn't work and how to fix it. So we've managed to challenge him to a duel. We've figured that out. We now see that he says choose your weapon, and we choose a weapon, and he still beats us. So, still beats us. He beats us. So now we're like, oh, man, he is really good. So we need to do something to make sure that he doesn't beat us. So now we're thinking, oh, well, how do we do that? And this is a double-edged sword, because it's really, really easy to overthink it. Because you might be thinking, oh man, maybe there's something I can do. However, if we go back here, there's no dueling equipment. So it's not like, oh, he left the dueling equipment, we have to sabotage it somehow. So that at least is, like, that takes that out of the equation. Because it's like, well, we can't access the dueling equipment unless we're actually in the duel. So there's that. Then we're like, okay, well, maybe we can do something to him. Can we give him something that'll make him miss? No, we don't really have anything on us that can do that. How do you compare it to the dual puzzle in Dishonored? Oh man, if Guybrush had slow down time or body possession, that would make this a completely different thing. That would be cool. Maybe I can shoot when the wind is blowing. Right? Yeah, a little nod to the spitting puzzle in Monkey Island 2. But so that's interesting too, because when you pick the pistol, it's just a cutscene. You don't get the option. It's not like, oh, you have like X number of seconds to shoot or anything like that. It's literally just you pick the pistol, he shoots it out of your hand because he's just that good. Excuse me. So if we try challenging him to the duel again, now let's see. Well, let's see what else I can. Let's try that again.
Haven't I shamed you enough?
You haven't even begun to see me shamed.
Back to the field of honor, then. Choose your weapon.
So we've got the 3 pistols, which for all intents and purposes are exactly the same. They, you know, you might be tempted to say, okay, well, let me choose. Maybe another pistol will be better. Maybe I have to do something to the pistol. Maybe I have to sabotage the pistol. What if we use like the paste on the pistol?
I can't paste that.
Right. What if we put gum?
That doesn't need chewed gum.
Okay. So this, I think maybe because this, I would say the challenge that this faces is that there's maybe too many possibilities here. Because if you try using the inventory with the pistols, you might think, oh, maybe I can do something to the pistols to sabotage them. And you get just generic messages. I think it would be stronger if Van Helgen, like if you tried using any inventory items on the pistols, because obviously that's not the solution. So it doesn't matter. But if you tried using any inventory items on the pistol, Van Helgen could say, hey, leave those pistols alone, no cheating, or something like that, right? So then that tells you, well, I can't do anything to the pistols. You might think, oh, I can't do anything to the pistols while he's watching, but you only get the option here to like pick the only way you can proceed is choosing a weapon. So that in and of itself would tell you, well, no, you're overthinking this. There's not anything else you can do. But then you see, oh, box lid, that's the only thing. The banjo is not a hotspot until you close the box lid. You can open it again. Oh, hey, I can open and close. Oh, look, a banjo case.
It's a banjo case.
And then you say,
I choose the banjo.
I accept.
You do?
So, okay, the conceit of this is a little silly, I'll be honest. It's funny because it works in context of Monkey Island, but it's a little clunky. Like, the subversion of the expectation is fun. I don't see why the banjo case only becomes a hotspot when you close the box lid, because part of it is showing. I don't know why you have to see the whole thing in order for Guybrush to be like, oh, I'll choose the banjo. Why would there be a banjo case here in the first place? Why are there 2 banjos when there's only 1 case? There's a lot of questions here. I like the idea in theory of swapping out for something else that's actually like doable. Funnily enough, in Rosewater, I had kind of that concept at the beginning with there's a puzzle outside the fort where you have to beat a character at a shooting contest. And originally it was you could challenge her to a quick draw contest and there was no way to win because she was always a faster shot than you. And the way that you did it was then being like, oh, let's try with moving targets, and then you had a chance. But I made it so that it was only moving targets because the idea of having a puzzle that you couldn't solve at all was frustrating, which I guess this kind of is, because unless you make this change, you can't quite do it. So I would say this is probably not one of the better puzzles in this game. Like, conceptually, I think it's fun, but execution-wise, I don't know how you would make it. I don't know how you would fix it, honestly, because there's a few too many factors that make it a little out there. But whatever. Anyway, Take that.
You're pretty good, boy. Let's see you follow this.
He's good. I'll never beat him.
Alright, so that was a fun little Simon Says bit. And now we have the final step, which is, oh man, he's so good. Now I actually have to use the gun. Which, again, conceptually is fun because it's subverting the subversion. The first thing is, oh, I'm not gonna use a pistol to beat him because he's too good at it. I'm gonna use the banjo. And now it's actually, well, actually, I am gonna use the pistol to beat him.
It's a loaded pistol. What should I shoot? Nah.
Can we leave with the pistol?
Hey,
Oh.
that's one of my favorite pistols.
No, we
Give
can't.
it back.
Yeah. See, giving Guybrush a gun would be too chaotic. Also, hi Jeff Gignac, good to catch you live. I love Rosewater. Thank you. Thank you. I think Dave Grossman talked about this. He talked about how I think they were designing a Western game, funnily enough. And they were like, well, the problem with giving your character a gun is that it makes them way too powerful. Because, you know. El Pollo Diablo lives. Hi, Monkey Island, eh? Oh, gee, sounds like a good game. Gee, I wonder if you like this game based on your username.
What? You shot my banjo.
You can't be sure of that. That shot may have come from the grassy knoll.
Oh,
Of all the lowdown tricks, I never heard of anything so low. I completely misjudged you. You
does.
are a pirate after all. I'd be proud to join your crew.
That's true. I mean, it
I'll
does
just
take...
pack this stuff up and get ready.
It
and
does,
give me back my gun.
It does take some precision to
I'll
shoot
need
a
2
banjo while someone is playing it and not blow their fingers
Sailors
off.
for my crew.
Okay, so we've got Van Helgen, and we've solved all those puzzles. Great. We did Van Helgen. You know what? Let's just do crew. Let's just get crew out of the way. So, Van Helgen, the duel thing. Okay, cool. We talked to Cutthroat Bill, and we learned...
Ahoy there! I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate.
So,
it's good to meet you, Mr.
Bill.
Bill? That's your pirate name, Bill?
Cutthroat Bill.
Oh, I see. Well, that puts a whole new spin on it, doesn't it? Are you ever going back to pirating?
Maybe. Someday. If I find the right captain.
Perfect. I'll be your captain. Onward to Blood Island and high adventure. Wanna come?
You...
Actually, we can't do crew because we can't get into Blondebeards yet. We have to do... Interestingly, we have to do Danger Cove first.
A captain? Hardly.
I'm the mighty pirate who defeated LeChuck.
And what do you have to show for it?
I've got a ton of cool stories.
Treasure? Immense mounds of gold and diamonds? Solid gold scepters of power? Anything?
Well, I've got these nickels.
Wooden?
Yeah.
Some treasure hunter you are. You couldn't find gold in a jewelry shop.
I bet I could find gold on this very island.
How much would you bet?
Well, I've got these nickels.
Right. Come back when you have some real treasure to show me.
Say, what you eating there?
Jawbreaker.
Is it good?
Yep.
You don't say much, do you?
Nope.
It's been a pleasure. Bye.
funny that yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, yeah. So actually, interestingly enough, we can't complete any of the other quest lines, puzzle chains, whatever you want to call them, until we cut the foliage to get to Danger Cove. So we have to get rid of Rottingham. And we don't actually need to talk to Rottingham. Rottingham is, again, he's an obstacle character, but he doesn't give us any useful information talking to him. So really all we need to do is get rid of him. And we do that by observing the fact that, I mean, talking to him, we like learn that he's very vain and he loves his hair and whatever. And Haggis, we talk to him and he's like, oh, I'm cutting his hair right now. I can't talk. Actually, we can't talk to him.
Ahoy there! I'm Guybrush Threepwood, and I'm a mighty
Quiet.
Huh?
Don't distract him while he's working on me.
Aye, laddie. You'll have to wait your turn. It's the pirate way.
Right, so we can't even talk to Haggis until we get rid of Rottingham. So we have even more incentive to do that. I'm trying to think, is getting Bill to choke on the Jawbreaker the only time in the game we use pick up or use on a person? I believe it is, yes. I recall that in easy mode, the Jawbreaker is already on the floor, so we don't have to do that. That's just an extra step. Which, yeah, I tend to feel like instances where you use a verb only once, one way, is kind of a cheat. Hello, Zan Black. Hi, I love Rosewater. Thank you. Thank you. It's so nice. It's so nice that people are like showing up and telling me that they liked Rosewater. That's so sweet. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, so like, you know, in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, where you have to push Sophia for one puzzle, or Day of the Tentacle, where you have to use mattress on mattress, like puzzles where you have to use the UI in a way that's different to how you've been using it, and you only do it the one time. I feel like those are not the best either. But now that you mention it, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, you really have no indication of like pushing how that would work, right?
No.
He says that about everybody.
You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I think we've bonded.
One fun detail that I like is if you leave him, he turns purple the longer you wait. So let's go ahead and do this. So what I was saying before was, for this puzzle, you have to observe that he's putting the comb down.
Holy infestation! You've been struck with the hair demons.
What are you talking about?
The cursed head vermin, the scourge of every hygienic sailor on the 7 seas.
That's a lie!
Sure as I'm standing here, they're wriggling about your scalp like a pack of wretched sea lions.
Good analogy.
This calls drastic action. I'm bringing in old Ironsides.
No, let's not be too rash.
Rash? That's a bad sign.
There's no time to lose. I'm going to have to amputate.
Amputate.
No, you'll ruin my hair!
All right, Bill, you've choked long enough.
How did you do that?
Oh, it was nothing really. Just sudden pressure applied below the sternum to expel a foreign object from the windpipe.
Now that's interesting that he said sudden pressure applied below the sternum to expel a foreign object from the windpipe. He hit him on the back. He didn't hit his sternum. The sternum is in the front. Yes, you do the Heimlich maneuver by putting on the sternum in the front, but Guybrush just hit him on the back.
That's amazing.
Also, hello, Big K69er.
I owe you my life. From now on.
Yes?
From now on, that will be known as the Threepwood maneuver. Nah.
I sure could use a haircut.
Have a seat, laddie, and I'll do you up with a fine coif.
Right, so this is interesting because it's also environmental manipulation.
I can't reach it. I'm too low.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ugh, blast that ineffectual paperweight. I'll have to go find another.
Well, what about my haircut?
Keep your skirt on, lad.
So I think I solved this puzzle a little prematurely because I wanted to look and see. There needs to be an indication that Haggis is reading that book. There needs to be incentive to, like, have him turn the... Or not turn the page, but, yeah. The chair handle. Okay.
Phew. Well, I searched the whole island, and I couldn't find a single rock for a paperweight. I suppose I'll just have to eyeball your haircut.
I just remembered I have another appointment.
Oh, I was going to give you a French braid, too.
Oh.
Coiffures for the Discerning Pirate. Spring edition. I'll wait for the movie. Coiffures for the Discerning Pirate. Spring edition.
Oh, a horse who can drive. Thank you for redeeming Stretch. I will. Oh, I could use that. Oh. Also, hello, horse who can drive. Welcome. Oh, man. Right. So, what I was saying was, I think I may have solved that puzzle a little prematurely. I didn't take the time to look around. Because obviously observing the environment would indicate that, that Haggis is referencing the haircut book, and that the paperweight is there for a reason. So getting rid of the paperweight would then cause the pages to flap in the wind, even though where's the wind source? I guess it's a breeze coming in through the window or something. But basically, yeah, it needs to indicate that would make him go away. So then Guybrush has the opportunity to take the scissors. So now we have the scissors. We can solve this puzzle, which is... We happen to get the flower because we have to.
I wonder if this plaque says something about the flower I just cut.
Ah, see, there's a failsafe in case we didn't look at the plaque, which we didn't.
Ipecac, Cephalus ipecacuana, one of the creeping vines common throughout Plunder Island. The syrup made from the ipecac flowers was used by the early settlers of Plunder Island as a purgative.
Okay, I'm going to... I'm going to point out this bit as well. Oh, right, so it's a two-stepper because, yeah, we have to cut the flower first and then we get access to undergrowth. Alright, so now we get two escape the room puzzles in a row that are completely self-contained. I love this track.
I wonder what this sign means. Snake crossing. What possible harm could a snake?
Oh, it didn't trigger right. Oh. Oh, there we go.
Well, this isn't good.
Alright, so we're stuck in a snake. Somehow Guybrush...
I bet that ship I saw belongs to the pirates who've stolen Elaine.
Guybrush can somehow see outside the snake. Alright, so this puzzle is amusing because it's one of those like, oh, hey, look at all this useless crap that's a bunch of red herrings to make you figure out what is actually useful.
It's a priceless, delicate Fabergé egg.
Right. So now we have a whole bunch of crap. Funny stuff like naturalist remains, top secret plans. Oh, look, a reservation slip.
It's a reservation slip for Blondebeard's chicken.
So that's funny because then it's like, oh, hey, now I can go back and use the reservation slip. But joke's on you because you can't go back right away. So it's tantalizing you with this. This one introduces the porcelain fear, yes. I don't think his first comment about porcelain is until we get to Blood Island, though. Vacuum cleaner attachments.
It's a complete array of vacuum cleaner attachments.
Yeah, a whole bunch of fun anachronistic jokes. Very funny. We have the flower we just got. Now, here's the thing.
It's an ipecac flower.
On paper, this is fine. It's been signposted enough. Ipecac flower, it's used as a purgative. The correct solution is to combine it with the pancake syrup to make syrup of ipecac.
It makes syrup of ipecac. That seems logical.
That seems logical, yes. Here's the thing, though. If you're a child or you're 15 years old, you don't know what ipecac is. And you don't know necessarily what purgative is. You'd have to go to a dictionary to look it up. So I don't know where this lies, because yes, it requires outside knowledge to an extent, but also the game gives you enough information that it should tell you what it is. However, if you don't know what a purgative is, and you've never heard of syrup of ipecac or ipecac syrup before, you have no idea what this means. So, yeah.
It's syrup of ipecac. Same as the kind used in hospitals.
Same as the kind used in hospitals. For what, though? Right? It doesn't really tell you this is going to make someone throw up or gag or whatever. So, I'm giving this a half and half. Also, very funny to have all of these things that could help you. This is very reminiscent, actually, of the Idol of Many Hands puzzle in Monkey Island 1. Is, you know, having everything that could save you just be right out of reach.
Whew. That sure was a close one. I thought for sure when I got eaten by that snake that I was done for. Thank goodness I'm safe. No? Hey! Hang on, the quicksand is sucking all the cool stuff I found in that snake from my pants. Now there's an odd sensation.
I'll say. And now, of course, we only have the relevant inventory items, which are the encyclopedia and the reservation slip. And if we look...
It's volume C and it's mostly digested. I can only make out page 243. A compass is a magnetized bit of metal floating in a solution. What a completely random piece of trivia.
That's right. If only it was something that we needed later in the game, which we 100% will. And that's interesting that they give it to us so early so that we forget about it by the time we actually need it. Now, do we get a Youch or a Papa Pichu is the big question. That is the biggest choice in the game. I mean... I think that's not really a question.
It's an informative plaque put up by the Plunder Island Naturalist Society. Papa Pichu bush. Discovered by Plunder Island's indigenous peoples, this bush is named after a native word meaning youch. Ah, Papa Pichu. Well, I got the thorn. Hope that was worth it. If I could just reach that vine, I could pull myself free. I can't reach it.
Alright, so, interestingly, we get this and we get this, which I think automatically we assume, okay, let's...
Neat. A world-class pea shooter.
Let's do that. That's pretty logical, right? This next bit is a little bit more out there, obviously. However, what the situation here is, we've gotten these two inventory items. We can figure out that we have a pea shooter and we have a vine. Oh, look, and there's a branch.
It's a branch resting precariously on that tree root. I
can't reach it.
If we try shooting the branch...
Even if I could hit the branch with that, it wouldn't do any good. Shooting the vine won't do any good.
Alright, so then we think, oh, well, we have a rock. Let's throw it.
My aim is always off when I'm under stress. I might miss. If only I had some way of dropping the weight on the branch from directly above.
Oh, dropping the weight directly above. Okay, okay. See, I've never seen these, so these are good clues. These are good clues. Yeah, the chicken will sink. I don't want the chicken to sink. I feel bad for the chicken. All right, so Guybrush has now cleared up for us that he needs to drop the rock from above. So that's interesting. So we're like, okay, well, how would we do that? I feel like the logic here is sound, but also a little out there. I mean, I guess, you know. Yeah, exactly. My aim is off when under stress. Better hope this helium balloon will float directly over the branch instead. That's absolutely right. Well, okay then. Let's do that, and then let's blow it.
Perfect. For once today, things are going... Well, darn. Hey. Thank goodness for those unpredictable Caribbean trade winds.
Quite. And we saved the chicken. Chicken didn't sink. All right. So we just did all that, and we're like, hey, we're at Danger Cove, but now we're stuck because we can't use this boat. And now we're forever stuck with these sharks following us. But that's fine. All right. So now that we've done that, we can do the next logical step, which is, hey, we have that reservation slip. Let's go to Blondebeard's chicken shop and plunder it for all it's worth.
Do you have a reservation?
Of course I have a reservation.
Then let's see your reservation slip. Very good. You may seat yourself, Mr. Pardon me, Mrs. Brindstew.
Oh, 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 oh.
The devil chicken.
All right, so we can take all these items.
Excuse me, sir? Now that's just rude.
Actually, no, here's the second instance of having to use push on a person. Because, you know, that's, it's not really quite a character. Anyway, regular has the boat already patched. Yes, that's right. I think you can maybe get away with a little bit more wacky logic if it's a one-screen puzzle. Yeah, if you have everything you need in that self-contained area, I think it's easier to, yeah, do that. But anyway. When's the last time you let a friend fall asleep to you gaming on the couch 5 feet in front of you? I don't think that's ever happened, actually. I know in regular mode, just talking to him automatically gets him to...
Hey, mister. Mister, you listening?
Gets him to do that.
Ah! It's one of LeChuck's skeletal horde.
Aye. I fixed his little red dinghy, but good.
The undead that walk among us must surely be destroyed, lest their evil like overrun and befoul the world of the living.
Aye. And he complained about me chicken.
Oh.
Right, so now that we've got this knife, I like how he makes a little face after putting something very sharp in his pants. So we also have the biscuit thing, which again, what we need to get into this gross chicken is also right here, but we need to interact with it.
Whoa! This biscuit is full of maggots.
Aye! That's my special ingredient. That's just the right amount of exotic flavor. It's a good thing, too, because I can't keep them out of the food around here.
So this is interesting because even though the maggots, which is what we need for the chicken, is technically available in the same room, the item that we pick up requires an extra step of interaction before we have access to those maggots. And interestingly, it's an item that the biscuit itself becomes useful later on Blood Island. So here's another inventory item that we carry with us that will be later. That it's another instance of a needed inventory item for later being picked up earlier because it's guaranteed that we'll have it. Like, there's no way not to pick up this biscuit because we need it for the maggots. Oh, interesting. I forgot to mention, too, because I'm solving this puzzle too fast. You might be thinking, well, how the hell am I supposed to know that the card is in this chicken? You can actually talk to Blondebeard, and he tells you that he's a member of the Brimstone Beach Club and that he dropped his card. He sneezed while he was preparing some chicken, and he dropped his card into somewhere. So that clues you in that, like, oh, maybe the card is in a chicken.
Ugh.
All right. So, yeah. So we have everything that we need now for the treasure, or for what do you call it? For gold, for the gold tooth. We have everything we need for the gold tooth puzzle, which also is pretty crazy, but amusing nonetheless. So we have clues for it.
Excuse me, but...
What a lucky pirate are ye!
Me?
You've struck gold, boy!
I have?
Gold, gold, gold! Ha ha! Golden nuggets of chicken!
Oh.
A treasure trove of deep-fried fun! Now, what can kindly old Captain Blondebeard bring ye for lunch?
Cheese toast. Got any?
I'm afraid we're out of that fine and economical dish. Actually,
I always liked fine and economical dish for some reason.
out of just about everything. Not a drumstick left. All I have left are those biscuits and a few tubs of our special Ipecac slaw.
How's the Ipecac slaw?
Not bad. But 15 minutes later, you'd be hungry again.
Har, 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 har.
Business must be good if you're sold out of chicken.
Sold out? I never said nothing about being sold out.
Then what happened to all your chicken?
Ah, 'tis a story steeped in terror, marinated in mayhem. There be a horror that prowls the jungles of Plunder Island. A 7-foot-tall monster he be, and he has a hatred for mankind unequaled. His preternatural rage burns hotter than the coals used to roast 1,000,000 of his kin. He is...
This fellow, Captain Blondebeard, is voiced by... Oh my god, his name is eluding me right now. He's the guy who voiced Launchpad McQuack, and he was also in The Walking Dead Season 1 as Larry. Gosh. Oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue. Why is it... What is his name? I was thinking about it earlier, too, and it was in my head, and now it's completely gone. It's not Patrick. No. Terry McGovern. Thank you, Mino. Yes, Terry McGovern.
El Pollo Diablo.
He's really good.
Devil chicken. The devil chicken!
The devil chicken.
He hates me most of all, and his revenge against me must be tastier than me hearty giblets and cracklins party mix.
What's he done?
He turned loose all me chickens, returned them to the wild, to roam the jungles free as nature intended. Even now, I have a huge order to fill and no chicken to fill it, but I know he's not through.
You know what I just realized? I have my left hand on the keyboard with my thumb on the space bar to like prep for when I have to pause, but my index, middle, and ring fingers are just instinctively resting on the WASD, because even though I don't need to use them, I find that funny.
Ruining me business is just the first step. Someday he'll return. For me!
For me!
Yes,
I love that.
I'll be ready for him. And a 7-foot chicken means me business will be thriving once more.
Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole conversation, but Blondebeard does give us some clues. he does tell us that the pirates on Danger Cove are interested in chicken. So that justifies why we get sent there when we dress up as El Pollo Diablo. He is a pirate too, so yeah, we can ask him if he'll join our crew, but he gives some excuse. And then, of course, the gold tooth.
Nice gold tooth you have there.
Aye! It glistens like the golden topping of grease on me luscious batter-fried chicken.
Did I mention how much I admire your gold tooth?
Aye, you did. It's one heck of a gold tooth, and Blondebeard serves up one heck of a lunchtime value.
So I forget which dialogue option brings it up, but there's one dialogue option where Blondebeard talks about how he wants something really crunchy. So that's your clue to give him the jawbreaker.
I'll let you get back to work.
Aye.
Would you like this jawbreaker?
Thanks to ye. Ouch! I think I loosed me gold tooth. I knew sweets were being bad for me teeth, but it had a fine crunch and were a fiesta of flavor.
You also hover over WASD. Yeah, it's instinctual.
From now on, I'll be sticking to fleshier foodstuffs. Something chewy. Well, there I go again. This old salt's got a craving for something to squish between me teeth.
Squish tween me teeth. And you read it as between. That's cool. That's interesting. So that's a pretty blatant clue as well. So you're like, oh, I have chewing gum. And he likes, and it's steak flavored. So let's give him
some gum.
Thanks. This is really good steak flavored gum. It gets you here, and it gets you right here.
Right. So now he blows up. Oh, look at that. There's a little tooth in there. That's funny. That's interesting. Okay. So now we have to use our pin, which we've got, which logically speaking, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty impressive. Chewing gum is very hard to get out of hair.
Why, you little scamp. That's quite a funny trick you've played on old Cap'n Blondebeard.
It's crazy how easy the music in this game will get stuck in my head and put me in a good mood. Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. Alright, so we've got the gold tooth, and I believe in regular mode, this is it. We can just walk out with the gold tooth. But in Mega Monkey mode, not so easy.
Hey! Where do you think you be going in such a hurry? I don't suppose you know where me missing gold tooth be?
No.
Then what do you call that, then?
Oh, that. I thought it was a rock in my shoe. I was gonna take it outside.
Sure you was. Give it back.
Alright, so now we have an extra step in this puzzle, which is, oh, well, Blondebeard doesn't let us out with his gold tooth. Now, interestingly enough, if you'll notice, his little animation is he jumps back and forth and back and forth. So your first instinct might be, oh, I mean, I need to do it. I need to leave while his back is turned. But even if we try leaving while his back is turned, he still turns around and catches us.
More gum? Yeah, it looks like you swallowed the last piece I gave you.
Thanks.
Do we, the player, know what the tooth is for already, or are we picking up items? Well, I mean, we already know that we're looking for gold, and he did mention that it's a nice gold tooth, and Guybrush said, I bet I can find gold on this very island. So at this point, I think we can probably think, oh yeah, okay, this gold tooth is what we need to satisfy the requirement of getting gold for Cutthroat Bill.
Pop me bubble, did you? You caught me again.
So, let me see something right here. Right, so even if his back is turned, yeah.
Hey!
Right.
Where do you think you be going in such a hurry?
Okay. So at this point, we're like, okay, well, even the back turned doesn't make a difference. So now the challenge is, how do we get this gold tooth out of here without him noticing? And this is where the puzzle gets insane. Stab him. Stab him with the knife.
My pirate instincts tell me I should keep...
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he'd like that.
No, he wouldn't like that. All right, so we know the answer to this, but let's figure out how the hell we would figure it out. Because this puzzle, I'm not gonna lie, this puzzle's pretty absurd. Let's be honest, because it requires a pretty big leap of logic, which I think is the helium thing. So all along we've had these balloons that if we do this. Guybrush talks funny.
Oh, that's made my voice sound funny.
But I don't think it's super logical to think, oh, well, if I inhale helium, then I'll have helium in my lungs for a significant enough period of time to, if I blow a bubble. Actually, what happens if we blow a bubble? Oh. Look at that. What happens if we do that elsewhere?
Wait 1 second. Do you have me gold tooth?
No.
Let me see. You don't have it.
It's right there on the floor in front of you, Blondebeard. What if we do this in any other screen? Right, it just pops, right? Oh no, yeah, there we go. Alright, so there is an indication that you can do that, but yeah, it's a little out there. Again though, in concept, I do like the idea of the complexity of having to sneak an item out. I am also taking note of this and copying this idea. So, when you play my next game and you get to a puzzle where you have to sneak something out of somewhere, you'll be like, oh, that's like in the Curse of Monkey Island. That's where he got that from.
The gold tooth is in the gum.
Which is a little strange also, but hey, whatever.
Cool.
Alright, so that was a little audio hint there that the tooth fell down something metallic. Which
Wait 1
I would say normally is... Put some caption on it. Just, oh, okay, it must have fallen down this drain pipe. Oh, it's in a mud puddle. Well, let's pan for gold. This extra step is a little silly, but whatever.
Hey, it's the gold tooth.
That tweening is terrible. Yeah, it sure is. Sure is. I'm just being... Yeah, okay, it's quicker if I walk this way. And while we're here, let's just go ahead and preempt this. So, yeah, so this is another one of those things where if we were to do the caber toss with Haggis, he would do it, and Guybrush would be like, oh man, I'm too weak, I can't bother, I can't do this. And also, as long as we're here, let's go ahead and get that. So, yeah, these logs are... What does it say here?
Curious pile of logs there. They look like they're made out of palm tree trunks.
Right. So, yeah, so we've also, it's another one of those puzzles like with the duel where it's like, well, the standard way of doing this is not good enough. We're not strong enough to do it. So either we have to get strong, or we have to make Haggis weak, or we have to find some other solution. And the other solution is, of course, we have to blow up the palm tree. Which, again, there isn't a huge indicator of this. Also, this perspective is crazy.
There are ants crawling all over it.
That doesn't help me any.
I wonder if they have anything to do with these lines chalked on the ground.
Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens if we challenge Haggis, because I feel like we need more information.
check this out.
Is that real gold? I guess you can find treasure.
So, you'll join my crew?
Sure, as long as my partners will join too.
I'll need one more sailor for my crew.
Okay. Good. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to Haggis.
Ahoy there! I'm Guybrush Threepwood, here to serve all your mighty pirate needs.
Pleasure to meet you, Guybrush. I am Haggis McMutton of the clan McMutton.
How would you like to join my crew?
You seem like a nice enough sort, Guybrush. But a man cannot serve as my captain unless he earns me respect.
And how would a man go about doing that?
By besting me in a time-honored test of strength.
So yeah, these are classic also puzzles that are perfectly fine to emulate. Oh, it's an ad break. Well. They'll surely never use the caber toss in a future game. Surely not. Surely not. I won't. Don't worry, I won't. I definitely won't. Bum, 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 bum. Name McMuttons in a Grundy game exclusive. Yeah, right. Okay, so what I was saying was, this is a classic puzzle type that's perfectly fine to emulate. Not caber tossing specifically, but the idea of having a character that's like, well, I'll only cooperate with you if you can prove yourself in some way. Van Helgen had the duel. Haggis has the caber toss. Bill has the finding gold. Obviously, all of them, because it's an adventure game, all of them involve cheating or subterfuge in some way. I guess Bill's isn't really cheating, because technically it is gold. He just says, find gold on this island. He finds gold. That's fine. But he does cheat at the duel, and he does rig the strength contest to be in his favor. But again, classic, don't mess with it if it's not broken. That's fine.
How about a test of who can hold his breath the longest?
No, I'm talking about the traditional Highland display of strength and virility, the caber toss.
What in the world is a caber?
The caber is a large tree trunk. We go to the field of competition, and each of us heaves the caber as far as he can. The man whose caber goes the farthest is the winner.
That's just about the stupidest sport I've ever heard of. And I watch cable television.
But you cannot argue with tradition.
Nay, you can't.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
I would never follow such a weak captain.
Right. Okay. So now that we've failed, let's see if Guybrush gives us any better insight here. Pile O Cabers. Well, the hotspot name has changed for once.
They're made from palm trees.
Alright, sorry.
They look pretty tough to toss. These are cabers. They're made from palm trees.
Oh, interesting.
They look pretty tough to toss.
Oh, interesting. 3 different things.
I'm not contesting the caber toss right now.
Alright.
There are ants crawling all over it. Sumatran rubber tree. Donated to Puerto Pollo by our Sumatran sister city of Vacaville. This tree is the only one of its kind in the entire Western Hemisphere and stands as an everlasting symbol of the friendship between our two cities.
Okay, so that's funny because in Return to Monkey Island, Guybrush has to get make a mop from a mop tree, and like they make this whole big deal about how horrible he is, and like he cuts it down, and like he's like, oh, I only need a little bit. And Vacaville, that's where we adopted our dog. Yeah, it's funny, the little like Bay Area in-jokes that they throw into these LucasArts games. Like the pirate parrot of Petaluma. Well, that was Telltale, but whatever. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right, yeah. So in Return to Monkey Island, there's the whole thing where you have to get a mop, and you think he's going to take a little bit from the mop tree, but he like destroys the tree, and like the forest is on fire, and all the animals are crying, and it's like, my God, Guybrush, what a horrible person you are. But like he's always been like that. Just look at this. He's like, this nice rubber tree. It's the only one of its kind in the entire Western Hemisphere. It's a symbol of friendship between the towns. And what do? We blow it up and use it for prop in one of our puzzles just to get ahead. So, I mean, yeah, Guybrush is
ants crawling all over it.
Guybrush is a pirate.
I could never hope to move that.
Right. What if we try serrated bread knife?
Well, this knife might cut through regular wood, but not a rubber tree.
Interesting.
This serrated knife won't work here.
Serrated. The mop tree thing felt like it wouldn't have been out of place in Monkey Island 2 at all. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so again, like, we know that the cabers are heavy, and visually there's some indications here, but again, there's not a whole lot of
It's an enormous keg of old Gut Blast brand rum. Well, I like rum as much as the next pirate, but that's a little much. It's a wooden sawhorse supporting that keg of rum. It's too heavy for me to move.
Well, there isn't a huge indicator that this will work, but whatever. Interesting that this is not a hotspot in this screen, but it is in the other screen. It's not a hotspot at all. Because we can only interact with it on this screen. But hey, whatever. Anyway, Ember on a stick.
Whoa, my head is spinning. I gotta lay off the rum.
Alright, let's go ahead and finish this up.
Are you sure you don't want to join my crew?
It's as I told you, Guybrush. Not until you can best me in the caber toss.
Sounds great. Let's do it. Hey, I win!
By the spiraling bouffant of me great Uncle McManus! Never before have I seen such strength. Sure, I'll join your crew. I'll wait at the shop until you're ready to leave.
Well, I got my whole crew.
Hooray! And that's that puzzle sequence taken care of, and now we're rewarded with a cutscene.
A barrel of grog and a chicken. Look at all this stuff, mate. Oh, that must have been some battle. Let's pull up anchor and make for Skull Island. King Andre will pay through the nose for all this loot.
Wait a minute. There's something else. It's, It's some kind of footwear. Hey, those are nice boots. But they're still hot. Ow, 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 ow.
It's weird because this game really skirts the line between LeChuck being scary and LeChuck being just like a complete buffoon. I like it better when LeChuck is scary. I don't like it when he's just like, oh, Elaine, I love you, you know, but whatever. Alright, so where are we back? Now that we've done the crew, I never wrote down crew, but that's fine. I'm keeping a mental note here. So now we're on map. Let's go back to map. Get into the club. Actually, I'm gonna keep that for last. Ship is get scissors. We did that. Now we get to Danger Cove, right? So I think actually we have everything we need to get the ship as well. So let's take stock here of where we're at. So Blondebeard's Chicken Shop. Alright, so we never need to come to this screen again because we've gotten everything we need. We never need to come to this screen again because we've done everything we need. So that's one more screen out the window. We never need to go to the barbers again because we've finished with them. So the only places we really need left to go in Puerto Pollo are inside the theater to get Elaine back and inside Blondebeard's when we're getting the when we're doing the Pollo Diablo thing. So oh, and we still need to come back to do the lemonade with Kenny. So there's still a few sections here that we need. But as far as stuff we need, we've got everything inventory-wise to finish this sequence here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're like, oh hey, this boat's got a hole in it. We can't use that.
It's got a huge hole.
But hey, we just so happen to have a rubber plug, which is defined as rubber plug.
Wow, for a homemade rubber plug, that worked very nicely. It won't stay in there.
Right, okay. So now we're like, oh, well, hey, we got paste, which, I can't remember. Do we need the paste on... But why can we wash off the tar and feathers, Grundy? Riddle me that. Why can we? What do you mean? Also, do we need the paste on Blood Island? I don't remember. Or is this strictly a Chapter 1 item?
The plug is all pasty now.
I mean, we keep the paste, so it doesn't go away once we use it, but...
Perfect.
You need the paste on Blood Island, yes. Only in Mega Monkey, though. Okay. Let me think. What do we need the paste for? What do we need the paste for? If you walk behind the waterfall, it washes off the tar and feathers, and I've never understood why. Really? I have never done that before. I'm gonna try that. It's not present at all since both uses are eliminated. That makes sense. But again, that's also a good use of, you know, pick up an item and then reuse it later, so it's not just cluttering up your inventory. Alright, I'm going to preemptively solve this puzzle, because I don't want to go through the whole rigmarole. It's so you can interact with other characters if you get stuck on that puzzle chain, because if you're wearing the tar and feathers, everyone will refuse to talk to you. Ah, okay. Right, that makes sense. But it also seems weird that you can just wash off tar and feathers. Kenny won't talk to you because he thinks you're ridiculous and he laughs at you.
15 men on a dead man's huh?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Mr. Fosse, so I'm gonna skip this.
Who are you?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood and I'm a mighty pirate.
Well,
you captain? Couldn't you just let me off with a stern warning?
no. Sorry. Well, I suppose we'll have to go with walking the plank. We're trying to avoid using the tar and feathers. It's messy, and we need to save the tar for emergency leak repair. What do you say, men? Shall we make him walk the plank? What's that, Captain? Handles. Well, it looks like we're having technical difficulties, Threepwood, so we'll have to drag out the tar and feathers after all.
His eyes, his eye and his nose are like completely anatomically wrong on that animation, but whatever. Also, why do his hands stay? His hands and his shoes stay not tarred and feathered.
So what do I do now?
I don't know. We've never done this before. Aren't you humiliated?
I also dislike Fosse, but I do say 15 men on a dead man's hut on an all too regular basis.
So, but no more than usual.
Well,
I never do.
Just get
but
lost then.
that's very endearing, Threep. It's so you can walk and pick up inventory. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna walk to this waterfall. I've honestly never done this before. I love it when you discover a new thing in a game that you've played forever, for 30 years. Does he say anything, or does it just kind of go, well, I will find out?
The waterfall washed off all the tar and feathers. I feel fresh and clean as a spring morning now.
I have never heard that line. I have never heard Guybrush say, I feel fresh and clean as a spring morning now, in the 30 years that I've been playing this game. So, well done on that.
Who's there? Again!
Okay. We're messing with IMUs. We're breaking IMUs. Alright, so... here comes my favorite bit. One of my favorite bits of this game.
Do you have a reservation? Madre de Dios! Es el Puyo Diablo!
Sí, he dejado en libertad los prisioneros y ahora vengo por ti.
Well, you're not taking me without a fight.
Kabong!
Ugh, this chicken grease washed off all the feathers. Whoops, I better keep quiet.
Absolutely, Captain. I'll get right on it after I have my dinner. What's that, Captain? I eat too much fried chicken. Well, I've just got a weakness for chicken, that's all. I know you don't have any weaknesses, Captain LeChimp. You're an overachiever, a doer. I'm just a tiny little fly.
LeChimp? The captain is an ape? Well, if the captain is an ape, then Mr. Fosse must be...
Aye, aye, Captain! Fresh bananas for the whole crew!
an utter loon.
What's that, Captain? Your parasites are bothering you. Well, of course I'll groom you, sir. You know, sir, finding this gold statue may be just the boost our crew needs. Why, with the riches we get from this, we can get new and better ships and become the terror of the Caribbean.
Right. So two things. I've always found it funny how Mr. Fosse has bananas in his hat instead of a feather thing. That's a funny little detail. And also, it took me way too long to realize that Mr. Fosse's name is a reference to Diane Fosse, who famously communicated with apes or studied apes or whatever. So yeah, that's a very nerdy reference. But anyway. So, alright, so here we have this situation where I guess the ventriloquism book is what we need, but I don't know how you would figure that out, but whatever. It's a thing.
It's a book about ventriloquism.
Thank you for telling us that.
Mr. Fosse, I've been thinking.
Are you all right, Captain? You sound different.
Don't interrupt.
Sorry.
You know, it's funny because I think I said I never played this with subtitles, but I must have at some point, because when Guybrush says, Don't interrupt! I thought he was always saying, no, 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 no. You sound different, sir, and I thought Guybrush was saying, no, 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 no. But what he's actually saying is, don't interrupt. So.
Sir, maybe it's time.
Yeah, the idea is that since Fosse already hears voices in his head, you need to make him hear some other voices. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's also kind of...
Gave up pirate.
I don't know.
I mean, take a look around.
Also, I like how he's doing a William Shatner impression.
Me, the rest of the crew, we're all monkeys.
You mean in the Darwinian sense, sir?
No, I mean in the quite literal sense. Have you noticed that the crew is happier swinging from the masts than swabbing the decks? I don't even want to mention what they've been flinging around the ship.
Are you suggesting that I'm not disciplining the crew enough?
No, I'm suggesting that we all give up this charade and go back to the trees. That's the life for a monkey, not sailing the seas for months on end.
Well, if you feel so strongly about it, sir, I suppose I can't argue.
I think our last order of business should be to dig up that statue and...
It'll be tough on the men, sir, but I'll tell them that you think it best.
Okay, but first we should dig up that statue and give it to...
I'll make sure they understand that it's not their fault.
Very good, and then we can dig up that statue and... Okay, never mind then. That must be the map to where they've buried Elaine.
Okay. Neviklink, oh no, the next game you make will have a Monkey Island reference, won't it? Not an intentional one, for sure. I don't do those. There's a porcelain jug in this room. Oh, okay. Maybe this one?
It's a porcelain vase. It's a porcelain vase. I hate porcelain. It's a long story. I'll explain later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, porcelain. Yeah, porcelain.
I think we can only escape through the porthole, right? Because the boat's not here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so... all we need to do is get Elaine, because we don't need to come to this place anymore. Right. Southeast, northwest, west, southeast, 2 paces northeast, east, southwest. Alright. I don't remember any of that. Southeast, northwest. South, east, northwest. West, southeast. Two paces northeast. Hey, look, it's Max. That's how you know you're on the right track. East and southwest.
That's it! That must be where Elaine is buried.
I like this bit too. This was very hard for me as I hadn't learned directions at this stage.
I know you've all been waiting for. How about some amazing juggling?
I love this part. I love...
Is this a dagger I see before me?
No, it's 3!
No, it's 3! See how I juggle these knives?
At
great personal risk to myself. And to you if I slip.
He's a great juggler, but I sure wish he'd get off the stage so I can dig Elaine up.
I may quote that a little too often. Is this a dagger I see before me? No, it's 3.
Alas, poor Eric, I knew him. And his 2 pals.
Wee! I love that. Yeah, this is very ridiculous. This is another one of my favorite bits. So, right. Now the trunk is open and there's cannonballs, which is a little hard to see, honestly. But now the challenge is, how do we get Slappy out of the way? And we put the chicken grease on the cannonballs.
Uh-oh. It looks like he's coming for the cannonballs now.
And now the ultimate Shakespearean...
Oh, really? Interesting. I didn't know that.
The famous cannonball juggling scene from Romeo and Juliet. Whoa! Oops!
I'm glad it had a happy ending and he got the girl in the end.
But the question is, can you use the... Yeah, it makes sense that the cooking oil would have an animation because there is one for him when he pours it on Palido. Can you use the chicken grease on Palido? I wonder. Probably not, because it's not the same. It doesn't have the same properties.
Elaine should be safe up in the crow's nest. For now.
Okay, now we get another cutscene.
Nice boots, huh?
Sorry.
Hey, what do you know? I really am big bone.
Uh-oh. Quiet. Here comes Captain LeChuck.
Avast there, you lubbers! Set sail for my stronghold on Monkey Island. I'll unleash my entire army of the undead. This time, Elaine will be mine. Ah, Elaine. 'Twill be a sweet day in hell when you feel the fiery breath of my kiss on your lips and become my undead bride. And I'll destroy any man who dares get in my way. Suffering sailors, 'tis good to be dead.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, LeChuck has a really cool filter on his voice when he's a demon. Alright, final step. Let's get that map. Alright, so we'll bypass this. We've got a club card.
Excuse me. My card.
Well, I'm sure there must be some mistake. You're sloven.
And yet I have a membership card.
Let me see that. This must have been approved the morning after the office Christmas party.
Yes. And I think I'll just take one of your fluffy clean towels and enjoy a nice relaxing stroll down your beach.
No! You mustn't!
Of course, the only proper answer is...
I must. And perhaps I'll sunbathe nude.
Sweet mother of pearl, no! Now that I think about it, it is nice out on the far end of the beach. You should go there. You should go there now.
I will also... First of all, I've never shown him the card before talking to him, so I've never heard that this must have been approved before the Christmas party dialogue. Second of all, anytime I go to a beach, ever, and I walk on the sand, this music plays in my head. It just does. That's just how it goes. So, alright. So we have access to the beach. And our next obstacle is the the hot sand.
Papa Pichu. With these holes in my shoes, I'll never get across that hot beach.
This reminds me of Mesa. If you know, you know. Oh, cool. This wasn't a thing before. It starts here, but then when you come back, it gets all muffled, so it sounds like it's diegetically playing over loudspeakers. That's funny. It's interesting. All right, so we can pick up a towel. Pick up 3 towels, actually.
Nice fluffy towel.
So what we need is actually right in the
I'll
vicinity.
just take one more.
Which is interesting.
The towels are all...
Papa Pichu!
Interesting. Yeah, that's the problem is, so, you know, anytime you put something funny art-wise, players think it's a puzzle. That's what I was saying about the ladder in the second screen. Whew. Alright, so I'm speedrunning this bit because I've been streaming for 3.5 hours and I'm going to finish the act before I finish the stream. But, so, yeah, so we've got this, and now we've got Palido, and this kind of is pretty self-explanatory because he has a mug that looks exactly like the mug that Kenny has. So it becomes pretty obvious that it's like, oh, we can use this to switch it out for Kenny, even if it's not quite clear. So we can just be like, oh, hey, let's go ahead and switch out the mug so that we can get back at him for his trickery. I should have gone the closer to Kenny entrance, but whatever.
Look, a three-headed monkey.
Oh boy, oh boy. Gee willikers, is this gonna be swell?
I've never really made stir fry myself, so I don't know what you should get. Sorry, horse.
Hey! Just because you're a grown-up doesn't mean you can waste my time.
Give me some more lemonade, you little chiseler.
That'll be a nickel.
That was as refreshing as morning dew.
Hey! How did you drink all the lemonade? You switched mugs on me, you cheat. I hope you're happy. You put a budding young entrepreneur out of business.
It's full of dye now. Here's your drink.
Well, get me a mug, babe.
All right.
I've brought you a new mug.
Thanks.
Here's your drink, sir.
Oh, we're back. Right.
Look.
Hydrate. I don't have any
You're ready.
water.
Ah, all those months in the sun and my tan is just gonna peel away. I better turn over.
Good idea.
Alright, so... yeah, this is the grossest part of this game. By far. But we did it.
I really wish I didn't have to do that.
I do too. And with that, I'm going to save the game, because we haven't saved, and we'll call it Gross Map. And with that, I have successfully completed all of the puzzle chains in Chapter 2 of The Curse of Monkey Island. Or Part 2 of The Curse of Monkey Island. I'm not going to go ahead because it's going to put me in an unlockable or unskippable cutscene, and then we have the song and all of that stuff. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I am going to do more of these, not just with The Curse of Monkey Island. I'm going to continue playing The Curse of Monkey Island next time. I'll probably do this again next week or at this... yeah, I guess I can do it on Thursdays. Why not? Thursdays are good days to stream adventure game analysis, right? So, yeah. I'll see you next week. Same time, I guess. I'll make this a weekly schedule thing for the time being. But yeah, this has been... I hope this was educational for everyone. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you to everyone who rated. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for the subscription, whoever subscribed. I don't seem to be getting those ads, but I see that my subscriber count went up by 1. So yeah. I don't think it's Tropical Thursdays because I'm not going to be playing Monkey Island every single time. But anyway, thank you all for... let's see if anyone... actually, can we raid? I think HJP was streaming, so let's raid HJP if he's still going. Nope. But Villainy Versus is going to be playing the excavation of Hobbs Barrow, so I guess if we want more more adventure game goodness, let's go ahead and raid Villainy Versus. Villain... How do you spell that? V-I-L-L-A-I-N-Y-V-S. Alright, let's do that. Oh, thank you, Aviv David SD. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Alright. This channel is intended for mature audiences. Well, it sure is. Anyway, thank you all. I will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the channel. Bye!